Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. Today, of course, is the 10th of March, 2022. It's been a hell of a week, a hell of a day here in Hollywood news. Lots going on. National Treasure 3, the once sought-after movie that we thought was coming, apparently is not, which is sad, because so many of us were dying to see it. Zaslav talks about the upcoming merger a little bit more. We find out who's staying and who's going. The answer. Oh, the answer will surprise you. And also burn down a whole bunch of cultists' mentalities. And maybe a little bit more coming in regards to Kenobi. All that tonight here and more. Hollywood After Dark, folks. Let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. It has been another fun day when it comes to looking at what's going to be happening in Hollywood. I always like to think like there's a dead time, you know, like maybe I'm not doing the right job. Maybe I need to like go off and do something else. And actually, I kind of did, but we'll talk about that here in a second. It's been a fun news day, and I'm not going to lie, the National Treasure 3 stuff is it's tragic. We'll talk more about that as we get into these stories here. But it's sad. It's very sad that we may not be getting it. I don't quite know tonight here. But let's take a quick look here at the chat. That boy 22 says, get watched live tonight. Smiley face. Thank you. Glad that you're here and you're not watching the replay or the VOD, where sometimes it might get blocked worldwide if we play the wrong thing and YouTube copyright decides to go, no. Let's see here. Now, Degrassi says, now I'm watching this stream, but goddamn, is that a great fucking movie so far? I don't know what he's watching. What are you watching so far? You're watching The Atom Project. Oh, okay. That drops tonight at midnight. I think that the Atom Project and Turning Red both drop tonight at midnight. I will be watching both tomorrow. Clearly, Turning Red will take precedent because I'll be with my kids in the morning. And then I'll try to watch Atom Project because it's a PG movie, so they can watch it. I'll watch it after the fact, and I'll try to put together some reviews to talk more about it. So obviously, that is going to be something worth, I think, a lot. I'm looking forward to both movies. I'm really looking forward to both movies. But before we keep going, I just want to make sure I don't leave Jimbo in the back for 45 minutes. I know that's not fair to leave people waiting to come on in for 45 minutes.
It's so dark in the backstage.
It's so dark. You never know what's going to happen back there. What was tickling your feet? You don't know. You don't know. But here's the thing. Before we dive in, Ryan Hartwell's here, and I want to address something really quick. The other day, I showed an image of this. Ryan Hartwell sent me a Starlight limited edition Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. This is apparently, according to scientists, you know, actual people put time into this. This drink is what space tastes like. According to what Ryan sent me in this letter, that space tastes like Coca-Cola, this particular type of drink. So he sent me an 8-ounce can. He did. He literally sent me an 8-ounce can. It's been chilling all night long. I have it right here in front of me. I'm going to crack it open right now, and I'm going to taste it because he asked me to taste it. And I said I had to wait till Thursday because I don't have to be up early in the morning tomorrow. I don't have to be up at 7 a.m. to take my kid to school. So I get a little extra sleep on Friday so I can take the caffeine, you know, because I'm an old man now, Jimbo, right? That's how this works. Let's take a look here. I'm sitting. There we go. Crack it open right there, right? Shiny here says, I have an LSD to add to that experience I can ship to you. Well, hey, man, tabs are tabs, right? Why not, you know? Okay, so I'm giving it a smell test. It smells like Coca-Cola, I'm not going to lie, but let's give this a shot. I should do it on camera. I don't have my lights set on, and I haven't showered today. So I'm just letting you know it's not going to happen. But I'll do it where you guys can hear it. This is going to be ASMR. Hollywood After Dark ASMR. Get ready for the chug-a-lug-a-lug-lug. That's also how I eat pussy, by the way. Anyway.
Oh, Lord.
So it tastes pretty good, actually. It's not bad. Yeah. All right, I'll sip on that for a little while. We actually did buy a 20 ounce. It's in the fridge. I'll probably have it tomorrow. I don't drink a lot of soda. So it's a kind of a rarity for me. Tony here asking, are you beholden to Ryan Hartwell now? I'm not, but I do appreciate Ryan. I do very much appreciate Ryan. Let's see. Lord Slug here says Coca-Cola 100% added some space drugs in that drink. Well, hey man, that's pretty good. Shiny here asking, does it taste like pussy? God, I wish. God, I wish.
Are you? I don't.
Look, I ain't saying that like that all pussy tastes bad. There's been some good, I mean, you can like it's a
It's a case by case basis.
Yeah, kinda, right? Kinda when you do that. I know we're kind of getting off topic. You're talking about anatomy, and the different scents and odors and tastes of the human sexual experience.
I mean, if you want to know
but
what it smells
it's
like,
a bit of it's an acquired taste. Some people don't like it. Some people really don't like it. Some people, like they absolutely they adore it. I knew a guy who grew his beard very long, and he oh my God, if it was the hairier the better for this guy, and this is I'm not lying when I say this is the kind of guy he worked at the movie theater with me, so this is how I can tie it in to talking about movies. But like, his name was Wild Bill. He was a former Army Ranger. Great guy. I love this guy. Total wild card, but I love this dude. He unfortunately passed a few years ago, but like, he used to work for the swap meet at the drive-in. And so his job would be to clean up after the swap meet. And so he would like literally like either like he would smoke meth to get hyped up, right? Him and his crew were generally all homeless guys, and they would all smoke meth to get hyped up, right? And then they would all smoke weed to calm down at the end of the day. But he had a fetish for like, as he put it, German hairy pussy porn. And so because this was a swap meet and people would bring in like a wide variety of things, right? A wide variety of different, products. If they found anything like that at the end of the day, he would get his hands on it. So I'd go into his storage unit. We called it a Connex box, but his storage unit that was his office. And you would find inside this thing, if he found like used panties at the theater, he would have them strung up. He told us, if you ever come across used underwear at the drive-in, don't throw it away. Bring it over to me and I'll take care of it. He liked to smell it. Weird guy. But like, you go into his office and, he would have bras and panties like strung across the top, like streamers.
What?
And then he had like the whole back of the storage unit was like just VHS tapes. And like, you would oftentimes find him back there watching pornography, and like, the thing is like, none of us cared. Like, I know like that wouldn't really fly in a lot of jobs, and all things considered, it wouldn't really fly here. But like, no one cared. It just was like, oh, that's the horny old pervert guy. We all know them. He keeps to himself, but he would end up like, I went in there one time and he's just sitting there back watching this like old 1980s, maybe 1970s, really like old porno. And it's just like the hairiest bushes I've ever seen. Right. And he's just watching it and he's like just eating food. And I'm like, all right, well, I had to get something from him. I said, all right, well, I'm going to go. And he's like, you want to hang out, watch? I'm like, no, I'm good, Bill. I'm good, man. I'm good. He's like, okay, hold on. I got to get ready to go and like do nighttime work tonight. I'm like, oh, okay. And he just like pulls out a meth pipe and like takes a hit. He's like, you want some meth? I'm like, no, Bill. He's like, all right, we'll come back by later on. I'll be smoking pot if you want to smoke some weed. Like, I'm okay, Bill. Thank you. And yeah, that was Wild Bill, man. He passed, like I said, he passed away a couple years ago. I fucking love this guy. He was great. It's just hysterical, man. Did he have the mustache and wore sunglasses? He did. He had the mustache and beard. Let me see. Let me see if I can find a photo. It would be on my my friend's Facebook. If I can, I'll try to find it real quick. I mean, Jimbo, I don't know how many jobs you've had over the years.
Yeah, I had a couple, not a lot.
So, I mean, like, we have, when you work in very weird places that don't have a lot of like, let's say, I don't want to say like rules or like decorum, cause like the drive-in was, I don't want to say like it was like, this completely like that it was like this total crazy place. But it did have a very interesting kind of energy to it, meaning that we could do whatever we wanted in there, provided we got the work done. And there was very little oversight. And even as a manager, I myself was like, yeah. Like, I'm just going to end up, like, I'm just going to, these people make minimum wage. Like, you can't get much out of them for minimum wage. So you might as well make it as, I should say maybe as good of an experience as possible. Right. To like, so you get the job done and that like, it's going to be done. Okay. And that's kind of what happened with this whole thing, with Bill and the swap meet and all these guys, because all they would do, literally, like, these guys were homeless. A lot of the guys working there, because they would make minimum wage, and they hung out there all the time because that was where they could live. They could live like underneath. There was what is it like? Behind us was the San Diego River, and so a lot of them would kind of camp out on the other side of the river. And when they would camp out, like, it would get cold. You don't think San Diego gets cold. It gets pretty fucking cold. And so as they got cold, occasionally, and one of them would pass away back there because they just either OD'd or they froze. I mean, it happens, right? And so it's like, this was kind of like essentially the place where these guys could, in fact, live and get work, because they were largely, they had mental health issues. They had a lot of substance abuse issues. And this was actually a job that they could do and actually kind of survive on a little bit. And some of those guys ended up, pulling themselves up by their bootstraps and moving on with their life and doing okay. I don't want to make it sound like it's this, utterly terrible thing. But it's such a weird, I don't know, maybe it's just, I was so close to it that I just kind of like, that's the world that I live in. I'm trying to find the photo of Wild Bill right now. My friend has a lot of fucking photos. My God. So yeah. I know I'm probably shocking everybody here. Like, what kind of place was this? Oh my God. How can this even be a thing? So, all right. But I don't know. I have no idea if you're still there, by the way.
I'm just taking in all that you're saying right now.
Yeah.
I'm just processing it. Cause I mean, his name makes sense.
I mean, I don't know his last name. I just knew him as Wild Bill. And, we always got along and whatever. He was always a fun dude to talk to. He was super perverted, super crazy. And he would just absolutely, just kind of tell you whatever's on his mind and not care. And because he literally picked up like all this shit, all this craziness that would happen, with the stuff left behind. If you don't think much about it, but like the swap meet, there's a lot of shit left behind in the swap meet. There's a lot of craziness left behind at the swap meet. People are just nasty. And, there are people in the swap meet that they would literally flush clothes down the toilet. Right? They would flush clothes down the toilet. And when they would flush clothes down the toilet, eventually it would start to build up. They'd cause a blockage. And it always happened during the height of summer when we had like 1,000 cars there. And all of a sudden, all the toilets start to overflow and back up. And then the entire parking lot gets flooded with like piss and shit water.
That's lovely.
That's happened so many times. And my very first summer there, it happened. And this was back in 2001. And the assistant manager at the time, we are really good friends now. we weren't really good friends back then. And he wanted me to go into the men's room and to clean up the bathroom. Someone had left a used catheter in the fucking handicap
okay, that's
cell.
nasty. That's nasty.
Right? No, just imagine, like, you have all these people, the toilets don't flush. So it's just full of piss and it's full of shit and it's full of grossness and all of this stuff. And then what happened, so then he wanted me to go in there and clean it. Well, I was working in the snack bar and I had made the decision that I wasn't going to do that for $6.50 an hour. So, because that wasn't my job. My job was to work in the snack bar and my shift was over. And so I went in and I clocked out, and my parents were there watching. I forget which movie it was. It was sometime in the summer of 2001. They were watching a movie, and I knew that they were leaving, and they were in the exit line to get out of there. And so I ran up because I didn't have a car at the time. And I ran up and I basically like jumped in the convertible and like went home. And I got in so much trouble the next day because the assistant manager was like livid with me because he had to stay behind and he had to fish out that catheter and he had to plunge that toilet, and he was drunk when he did it. And so all of that smell, all of that stuff, it just made him puke himself sober, right? Like it just made him vomit himself sober. And he was so fucking furious at me because he's like, I told you to do that. And I'm like, that wasn't my job, dude. Like, that's not my job. That's your job. And eventually I took over for him, right? I took over being manager a couple years later. And I ended up, doing the job. And you know what? Sometimes when it got to be that crazy, those kind of jobs are things I'd have to do. Those are the kind of jobs I'd have to do because that's what's required. And, I just did it more efficiently because I wasn't drunk. I wasn't hammered. I wasn't inebriated on the job at that point in time. We drank a lot, I should say, for the first couple of years I worked there. There would generally not be a Saturday night where we were not absolutely fucking wrecked. Like it would be at the end of the night. But when you're out there cleaning up people's like piss and shit and vomit and used condoms and all sorts of beer, you don't really care. You know what I mean? You just don't really care at all, And so you find a way to get through the best you can. Oh, here we go. I found the image. All I had to do was just search on her profile for the right name. I was looking through her photos. That's why I was trying to like pad everything out. Right. Read here is like movie news time. Oh, we're almost there. There's a lot. I have stories, man. I have stories from.
Don't you want to listen to really wild shit?
Literally. All right. So this is what Wild Bill looked like. If you this is what he looked like.
Oh my God, no.
That's so, but he looks like how I described him, right? He looks like in your mind, this is what you thought of Wild Bill. Again,
wow.
the dude was crazy. The guy was crazy, but he was not a bad guy. Not by any stretch of the imagination. He had his vices, he had his craziness, but he was never a bad dude. He was always helpful. He was a really fun guy to talk to. And I was really bummed when I found out that he died a couple years back. So, because he was there for everybody who ever needed him. That's the thing with Bill, right? Just these crazy shit. It's all, it's all crazy, man. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for listening to that opening and everything else. There's a couple quick things to get to as we drop kind of the title card as we get into this. Real quick here, Podio commentary, youtube.com/Podio commentary. That's what I was doing right before going live tonight. I was recording the Podio commentary on Encanto. So if you want to know my thoughts for 43 minutes about what I think of this Disney animated musical set in Colombia, it's going to be up tomorrow. The podcast version will be up tonight. That's anywhere you get podcasts. The YouTube version will be up tomorrow. And I have a joke at the end of it that should probably get me canceled again. So
was this like the 5th time this month?
Kind of. I mean, I ask questions. I ask questions. Like I ask questions that they don't want you to ask effectively, right? Like when it has the world building of this environment and how like it kind of starts acting like, the British royalty family tree, right? Where he stops having branches and just has one trunk. You start asking questions like, hold on here. If everyone is isolated for 50 years, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? If you know anything about genetics, look, honestly, if any of you have seen Batman Returns and you've seen Danny DeVito, you're going to kind of get what I'm laying down here. So that's going to be youtube.com/Podio commentary. Tomorrow it will be up on YouTube. It will be up on podcasts. Probably like right after this episode is finished because it's already uploaded. I haven't done any of the metadata yet. But again, Encanto is a great film. I recommend it, even with my dirty sense of humor. Also, if you guys like what I do here, you like this show, there's been a couple super chats so far. We'll get to that here in a second, guys. Thank you so much. As gas hits like $4+ a gallon right now, I know it's hurting everybody. I actually have to restrict driving just because of that. So if you guys want to toss $1 or $2 to your streamer, patreon.com/Matt Jarbo is the best way to do that. YouTube doesn't take its 30%, which I get why they do it, but it still sucks. But anyway, thank you guys for all your support. Patreon.com/Matt Jarbo. So there we go on that. That's my shilling. Had to get into it with the long form story talking about German fetish porn, but here we are. It's been we can talk about some stuff. All right. Oh, Spherical Man here says, in the words of Jeff Foxworthy, their family tree does not fork. Yes, that's very true. Also, by the way, there is a very, I saw today, I don't know if are you a fan of Jeff Foxworthy at all, Jimbo?
I have no clue.
Motherfucker. God damn, you're young. Jeff Foxworthy is he's like, you're a redneck if that's his bit, right?
Oh.
Like, you're a redneck if you stare at a can of orange juice because it says concentrate. Like that kind of stuff. That's his bit. I love Jeff Foxworthy, right? Like, he had a bit of a resurgence about 15 years ago or so with the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, which was a lot of fun. That introduced the world really to Larry the Cable Guy. So that's his one cardinal sin. But he's back with a new Netflix special dropping pretty soon. I saw I heard the trailer for it today, and it was pretty funny. And I'm looking forward to some more Jeff Foxworthy. So there's that one. Anyway, all right. Geeks here says Jimbo making me old, dude. I used to listen to I remember when we had power outages in the 90s, and I just had a CD player, a battery operated CD player, and I would listen to Jeff Foxworthy's "You Might Be a Redneck If" album because that's what I had, and that's the stuff I listened. Adam Sandler's "They're All Gonna Laugh at You," which I'm sure you have no idea what that is.
No.
Oh my God. Have you ever heard the song "Piece of Shit Car"?
I'm probably have, because my grandpa definitely liked that stuff. So
fuck. My grandpa liked Adam Sandler.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to make you feel old. Yeah, I've probably heard of it, but it just is not drawn connection in the brain. So,
oh man. It's a great song. It's on the album "They're All Gonna Laugh at You." It's just a song called it's all "Piece of shit car. I've got a piece of shit car. Sucks royal dick. The fucking pile of shit never gets me very far. Oh fuck you, car." It's this is back when Adam Sandler used to go really hardcore into the raunchy. There's a song on that album called "At a Medium Pace," where at one point, he's talking about a sexual encounter with a girl, and he's all at one point in the song, he goes, "You see that shampoo bottle over there? Stick it up my ass and shove it in and out at a medium pace." Totally. I can't believe that album is coming up on it's almost 30 years old. So there we go. There we go on that one, man. The spring always pokes the balls. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah. Stroke my cock at a medium pace. That's in the song there too. Taylor here says, I remember "Piece of Shit Car" on 91X and SD. Dude, I heard that on Z100 in Portland, but it does seem that 91X, that was more of the alternative station back in the day. They definitely would have played that. DeGrasse Hero says, that and some Jerky Boys. Oh, I love the Jerky Boys. Barrel Bob here says, I really want Adam Sandler to make another CD. He's actually really good at writing music, but I know CDs don't bring in vacation trips for the actors. Yeah, I know. I will say, though, his song about Chris Farley was really, really good. So I love that quite a bit. But the Jerky Boys is another one. They were the prank caller guys back in the 90s. And they even did a movie. We watched the trailer on here a while back, too. So anyway, here, Anthony asks the question, why were you going at it with Drunk Krypton? Because he came at me first.
Yeah. Krypton was a little wild.
He came at me first, man. I walked in there to talk about some Snyder stuff, and then he starts clinking those bottles together, And
Oh,
you're
I
like,
was
uh-oh.
just trying to be an asshole. I had my empty Coca-Cola bottle, and I just was fucking rolling around on my desk just to try to piss him off. I was like, I
Oh,
don't give a fuck.
that was you? I thought
Yeah.
that was him.
That was me the whole time.
Oh man. I like, yeah, that was funny, dude. You know, what cracked me up about that was like just me telling the guy, like, you send all those empties over to freaking Ukraine so they can make Molotov cocktails and do
Dude,
your
I
shit
was
of
just
duty.
like, I'm trying not to laugh too loud, but dude, that was pretty. Wow, I mean, shit. I just like, dude, like, what was his deal? What was his deal? Why does he get like absolutely fucking toasted and get on stream and just make a fool of himself with that?
Some
shit?
people do that, man. That's how they cope. Like I can honestly tell you that I haven't had any booze in like almost 3 years. I haven't had any weed in almost 4 years now. I need to get back on that because that will help me sleep. But like some of those guys, they just need to get wasted before they go on in. I'm not a big fan of like getting drunk. I don't like getting drunk anymore. But because it's like I don't like the loss of control. Like I could not do this show being under the influence, under like literally like anything that is going to be like a depressant or a downer. Because it will not be funny. It will not be funny. Now, look, here's the thing though with someone like Krypton, is Krypton doesn't like me because of my history. And you know what? Listen, I can't tell the guy to like me. I can't tell the guy to like look the other way or whatever. I can't. That's on him to do, and I won't do that. But the thing is though, trying to paint something I did a decade ago in a very failed attempt at a very horrible joke, and to use it as a way to try to smear me as like that is my character. Yeah, he can straight up like he can lick the tip of my dick, like flat the fuck out. Like I'm not gonna put up with that shit,
I mean, is he the same person he was a decade ago? No, it's called character development, bitch.
Yeah, bitch. That's kind of how I viewed it, at least, And again, but look, dude,
Yeah.
I'm not perfect, and I make a ton of mistakes, and I know people out there have their own opinions, and that's perfectly acceptable. I think for me though, it's it's one of those things where I just like it's not as I don't know, it's not as crazy. I want to see if I can find this. You guys want to see me like really fucked up? Let's see here. Hold on. 2015. Let me see if I can find it, because I used to go do live streams, and I used to do a lot of live streams, and I would get fucking stoned while I would do it. And there were some memes at the time called I was really wasted, and I did something. It was called like Slender Grill, right? Because there was a grill that was next to me at this park in my old apartment complex. There was a grill, and I kept freaking out thinking that it looked like Slender Man. So it ended up being like it ended up being this thing where it was pretty stupid. I'm trying to find it here. If I could find it. It's going back a number of ways. I'm just saying, if you guys want to see me messed up, right? I can make fun of a guy being drunk, but I think it's fair if I go back and I make fun of myself in the process, right? I think that's fair. So let me find any of this. This is all okay. I'm getting there. Okay, here we go. This is an old ass video. So all right, can you guys see that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So live. This is me this is me from 2018.
Let me
Oh, wow.
lower that a bit.
And so I look a little bit different,
Tighten that up
right?
a
I think
little
I've
bit.
lost a little bit of weight from there.
Also, tweet
So I'm like
this out.
me and my back patio. Okay. Give you guys an idea. So I'm sober at this point. So then
Can you teach me how to pee?
Dude, wait, hold up. Go back to the start.
Tell me about it. It's pretty funny.
The difference with your eyes is
yeah.
Oh Oh, Mega Lemon says, "Can you teach me how to pee pee?"
You hear that in the background, by the way?
Thanks, Aaron. I'm glad you're
I
thinking of
not
ways to
know.
fuck with me on my
There's
stream.
there was
Don't think I won't
gunshots
get
or
you back
fireworks
in
or something.
Comic-Con in a couple weeks.
Oh shit.
Hey, have you gotten anything about parking yet? Just out of curiosity, they haven't sent me any emails yet about parking. Wait, will it work?
And then my pen died.
Yeah, I see you charging.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Look at you. Wow. Hold it like a
I
man,
held the
damn
button
it.
down. That was too much.
Yeah.
All right, let's put that away for right now. Fuck me.
Anyway, like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's me all sorts of fucked up. You know, Tony here says, you look rather glazed. Oh, I was pretty glazed. Yeah. Yeah. I get super paranoid when I'm high, like super paranoid when I'm high. So yeah. So hearing like there was like the fireworks, or there was some like, cause you can shoot guns out here. And I think it was my neighbors like shooting off some stuff. And yeah, there's other ones of me that are out there.
Cities too, but
yeah. that's what happened with that. I thought that was pretty funny. Do I still have the same glasses? Very similar design. Those not the same ones specifically, but a very no, they might be because I ordered them from the same place. So yeah, I think so. There's different prescriptions, but yeah, I like the glasses. So there you go on that one there. But all right, there's a couple super chats to get to here before we dive into the news. I know we've had a bit of a fun ride. Kaylin Bryson here for $1 super chat. Thank you very much, buddy. Really appreciate that. Ice Wallow. I'm not going to, I'm not.
wow.
That was a John Campea bit right there. Debate Jody. I would gladly debate Jody. I don't know what the topic is though, right? I don't know what the topic is at all. But if Jody's Corner wanted to debate me on a subject, it'd be fun. H Bar's here for $5. Thanks, buddy. Says Krypton Core is a drunk fuck. Don't have time for alcoholics. Well, that's a hardcore comment to make, but I you know what? Alcoholism is a disease, so I think we need to be a little bit.
No,
fuck that guy. Kaylin here for $5, man. Thank you. Says the Warner Brother Discovery merger is going to be crazy and weird at the same time. And watching Theodosia on HBO Max and interesting. All right, thank you, man. I don't know what that is. Never heard of that one. We have hey Matthew, I had a bad day. $2 just says, ugh. Also here, will do call in real soon, buddy. Love you, Matthew, for another $2 says, ugh. Asking if that's Anthony Chabot, because that's the kind of stuff he would say. So I don't know. I don't think that's him because he never really super chatted. H writes for $2 says Krypton wants Zaddy load in his ass. Why? Everyone's looking for Zaddy. You know what I mean? But now Zaddy could either be Zack Snyder or David Zaslav. There's two Zaddies, right? We could make a joke about that for like the Snyder cultists, my two Zaddies.
But which one? They're gonna have to fight. Who's actually the Mega Zaddy? They're gonna have to fight for that title.
Yeah, we could write a children's book because I think a lot of them are emotionally still there. And Reed Coles for $5 says, at the end of the stream, can we check out a funny like button compilation from Mr. Ballin? It's funny since he puts up the like button in awful scenarios. If you could like send it to me on Twitter or something, we'll check it out. I know we need to watch the Star Wars, what's it called? The Star Wars Old Republic Legacy of the Sith. I've been kind of putting that off a little bit.
Is it like a cinematic or
it's a cinematic one. It's a cinematic for the Old Republic game. Apparently it's really good. I haven't seen it yet.
Dude.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched it yet.
When we get to Star Wars, I'll have to make a comment about that because man.
Yeah, and I do watch Mr. Ballin occasionally. So there's that. I do like I do think it's gonna. I do like Mr. Ballin. The only thing I have trouble with his streams is like sometimes I know he embellishes a little bit too much, and like I think there's a difference between like hyperbole and embellishment, and that's kind of where I'm at with it, you know. So it's one of those things. And then Rational here, thank you, buddy. It says Jerry Bruckheimer and John Turtletub. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll start with the we'll start with the Nicolas Cage one, because I wasn't going to start with that. I was going to start with something else, but we'll go into Nicolas Cage. All right, so according to Slash Film here, Nicolas Cage confirms National Treasure 3 isn't happening. Breaks our hearts. So this is something that, here's the thing. I talked about this a while ago, and I get comments on that video all the time. There is a massive interest for National Treasure 3. And it's really sad that like there's been no real movement on it. Although today, and this is interesting, and I don't know if you guys saw this or not. I didn't grab the picture. Let me see if I can find it here. I think it's on Discussing Film. On Discussing Film, they talked about how the first image, here we go, from the National Treasure series is actually from Disney Plus. This is the first image of the National Treasure show. And we've long heard that this is the one that like Catherine Zeta-Jones is going to be in. And it's one of like the multiple projects that they're kind of developing here. The thing is, it's not that I'm against this show. I want to see this show. I want to see what they do. But at the same time, I want National Treasure 3. So this is what Nicolas Cage is saying about it here. Over back on here, they're talking about an interview with the Hollywood Reporter for The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which were you here last night, Jimbo? Did you see that trailer?
No.
Oh man, go watch that trailer. Nicolas Cage plays himself.
Oh wait, I saw that in the theater before Batman. I just honestly forgot about the title about that.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be that.
That's weird. That's actually kind of weird. I mean, like I was watching that, I'm like, wait, hold up. This concept is interesting, but also just it's kind of weird for me. I mean, but Nick Cage is back.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's Nick Cage playing Nick Cage, like an exaggerated version of Nick Cage. And so I am definitely 100% here for it. So I think it's going to be really funny. The movie, we watched the trailer last night. It looks fantastic. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, guys. To me, it's looking like movie of the year right there. I know it's early to make that comment, especially with like the Batman being out and a lot of love for that. But that's the whole thing though with The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's Nick Cage. This is his Pulp Fiction. You know what I mean? Like this is his rebirth, I think, by playing himself. But anyway, So talking about the other roles that he's been in, he talks about asking here, like, although not deep enough. Okay, sorry, that was something else. It says, after being asked about a possibility of a Face-Off sequel, Cage clears the air and drops the bomb about any upcoming National Treasure movies, saying, so often these things we read about are just conjecture without any base or foundation to it. I feel the same about National Treasure 3. It's been 14 years. There's no there. So it's fun to think about. Sure. Or so is it fun to think about? Sure. So, I mean, Face Off 2 is coming. I think the guy who did Godzilla v. Kong, right? Adam Wingard, I think, is doing it. He's doing the next Face Off movie. And I don't know if that's a reboot or whatever. They don't need to remake Face Off. It's a fantastic film. But it's entirely possible that, because it's been 14 years since the last National Treasure movie, like that could be something Disney's currently waiting on. Like, see if the interest is there with this National Treasure HBO or Disney Plus show. It's entirely possible. Now, according to Rational, though, just because I want to bring up his, he says here, Jerry Bruckheimer and John Turtletub recently said that National Treasure 3 is moving forward. So who's right? Well, I think here's the thing with that is, it's possible that National Treasure 3 is moving forward just without Nick Cage, right? Just without Nick Cage.
Oh man, I don't. Then that kind of is like a deal breaker for a lot of people. I mean, how can you do it without Nick Cage?
You can't do it without Nick Cage. You can't do it without him as, it'd be like, you can't, like, Diane Kruger has to be in it. The other guy has to be in it. I forget his name. Like even John Voight has to kind of be in it, even though John Voight's a psychopath. I don't know. I'm looking up right now, National Treasure 3, and I'm not seeing, hold on, Jerry Bruckheimer, National Treasure 3. Let's just take a look here at the news for this one. Okay, Diane Kruger gives an update on National Treasure 3. And she says it isn't too likely at this point either. She says, I really don't know. No one ever contacted me about a third one, so I don't know. I feel like at this point we're way too old. I don't know. I mean, I would say never, but it's been a minute, you know. Yeah, it's been, I mean, the first one came out like in 2004. And then the second one came out in 2007. And it's literally been like 15 years this year since the last one came out. And that's a long time. That's a very long time. So I have no idea if that's going to end up being what comes next. And I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening if it's been so long. I think what they want to do is they want to reboot it for Disney Plus, kind of like Cheaper by the Dozen, you know, and how they're doing like the Home Alone stuff and everything else. Like it was, you know, Lord here, he says, I thought it was greenlit. It's like, apparently it's in development, but if the cast hasn't been called, then what about it is being in development? You know, I don't know. I'm hoping that he's just, H. Bright here says, I hope Cage is just lying and makes a cameo in the show. That's what I'm hoping to. Like, that's what I'm hoping to. I'm hoping that Cage is just lying, playing the Hollywood game, and that he pops up. Because I agree with Fire Sonic here. That's like doing Indiana Jones without Harrison Ford.
Exactly.
That being said, we are going to probably end up getting more Indiana Jones without Harrison Ford following the next movie. I think that is a very realistic thing that's going to be brought up. But either way, look, I love Nicolas Cage. I love the National Treasure movies. I would love to see a third movie. I don't know if it's going to happen. But this new show seems interesting, and I'll give it a watch. I'll check it out. I'll see if it's any good. I want to go into it, you know, with good intentions. I want to go into it thinking the best. I want to go into it hoping that we get something that's going to be fun and going to be very interesting here. Lord here says National Treasure 3 was his baby. 2 great movies of his. No, they are, man. They're great. And I agree with Geeks here. Like, you got to have Cage. You got to have Cage. But Tony makes a great point. Says we did get Han Solo without Harrison Ford. Yeah, you know,
I don't know.
We did.
Yeah.
But I'll say this though, because I am a Solo defender. But the way I view it is this: we did get it. It maybe wasn't a hit right off the bat, but I think in the subsequent 4 years since it's released, almost now, I think there's been a lot of people who've actually grown to appreciate Solo for what it was. And I think, you know, with that, we can probably, once we initially get past the Harrison Ford angle, there's probably some work to be done there. But Nicolas Cage can still come back to go and do it. I mean, his repertoire of movies recently have been insane. And like, they've been building up this new cult following. Like, he's really got this big following of people that are just loving him doing literally whatever the fuck he wants. Isn't he? I haven't seen that Willy's Wonderland movie, but as far as I understand it, like, he doesn't even have a line of dialogue in the movie. Like, Nick Cage is in it, but doesn't talk.
That is weird.
That's the thing. I don't know. Look, even that dude Vince here says, I love Solo. Lords here says, I love Solo. Right? Sarun Inatemi, I'm probably mispronounced that. I apologize. Says Solo 2 will happen. Look, man, don't get my hopes up on that. All right. I am a make Solo 2 happen kind of supporter. You know, Geeks here says, I won't watch the TV series if Cage isn't in National Treasure. It means a lot to me. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm going to check it out because I want to see it. But like, again, it's like, why go back and do this without bringing back the original actors? We've learned at this point that so many of these movies that get rebooted, they do better when you bring back the original cast. You know, I mean, look at Ghostbusters 2016. Let's be fair. Not a lot of people liked the movie with good reason. It was shit. Ghostbusters Afterlife brought back the original cast. People lost their fucking minds, and it's been seen, you know, it's done well. Like, it's, people really like it. I haven't seen it yet myself. I need to watch it still. Yeah. Reed here makes a great point. Jurassic World. They have in the trailer, they bring back everybody. In the trailer, you see that Avengers Endgame moment where they're all there together.
I mean, could you put No Way Home technically in that kind of thing, considering that they're bringing back the old Spider-Man?
Yeah. I mean, that too, that I'll tell you, man, like, I do think that on its own, No Way Home without Toby and Andrew would have done very well. I think it would have I think if the movie was good, it would have crossed $1 billion on its own. But I think the spectacle of, and I don't say spectacle in a negative way, like, I don't mean it in a cheap way, but I think the spectacle of bringing in Toby and Andrew and having it kind of be a culmination of 20 years of storytelling done well. and having it pull on those emotional heartstrings in the way that they did it so well. It made I think it was cathartic, if you want my honest opinion. You know what I mean? Like after everything for the last couple of years, it's just been like, it's like you go to the movies and you're just so excited and you're so happy and you're just so in the moment that you finally just go, you know, you just let out that breath and you're like, oh, I'm home sort of thing. In that moment, you get to feel like you're home. You're back at the theater. You're seeing your favorite Spider-Man, whichever one it is. You know, you're getting nods to other MCU movies. You're getting nods to previous Spider-Man films. You're getting, you know, more Doctor Strange, you know, like you're like, oh, I'm happy. I'm here sort of thing. Like that's how I view it. So I know, I'm looking forward to this. Right. But now Jess here makes a great point. Disney has become cheap and believes the name is what sells. And I'm hoping that Chapek kind of gets around on that, but I don't think that he will, to be fair. But we'll have to wait and see. A lot's going on with Disney right now, especially in regards to Pixar, in regards to the Don't Say Gay bill and everything else. And it's not going to be well. It's not going to be well for Chapek here. But Geeks here says, Charlie Cox made it worth it for me for Spider-Man. Dude, that was a fan. Yeah, I love that.
The way they, just the whole thing with this is Kane dropping, like that was like, you couldn't plan a better introduction and reappearance of a character like that. That was just simply perfect.
Oh yeah, no, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And then when he catches the brick before Spider-Man, who's got Spidey sense, you know, or Peter Tingle, and he's just like, how did you do that? I'm a really good lawyer. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
It's
and we'll talk about the Daredevil. There's some Daredevil stuff to talk about tonight too, but real quick though, because I did want to bring this up, but RWP here asks, thoughts on the Jussie Smollett sentencing? Well, that actually happened today. And this was a big deal back when this happened, because, you know, one of the things in this country is hate crimes are a real thing. I mean, honest to God, it just took the federal government like this week to finally go, you know what? Lynching is a hate crime. Yeah. You effing think. All right. But this was a situation that was a problem, because what a lot of people don't know, and again, I don't want to go too political with it, but like after Trump was elected, like in the fall of 2016, there were a lot of people that were people of color that were claiming to have been assaulted by Trump supporters for being minorities. And in many of those instances, it was proven that it was fake, that they made it up. And that really damages a lot of the credibility that people have when they make accusations. And that ends up being, and again, look at like Me Too. Like Me Too was a year later. There's a lot of issues with that as well.
I was going to bring that up as well, because it's like it's similar thing as well with the false accusations a lot with that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as much as I dislike Andy Signore, I believe, well, actually, I think he was, let me just say real quick. I think that he was done dirty in one instance, but I have now come to the belief of other things. And you know what? I'm not going to say watch this space, but maybe there's been some stuff that I've been sent that's and people I've been talking to that's a little on the like side. But we're just, again, there's some stuff with the Me Too stuff that's crazy. But this Jussie Smollett thing, the fact that this guy faked it, and like he faked an attack, you know, and he paid off
disgusting.
these two guys to like fake this attack on him, and he wanted to do it because he wanted to get back. He wanted his career. He wanted to get a contract. It was all part of, this is my take, my opinion. He, at the time, he was up for a contract renewal with Empire, and he did. And, you know, I think he felt like he was being kind of like left out in the cold, you know, maybe on the verge of being fired. So he did this as a way to bolster his name, use a very, very hot topic in order to raise his star and to get a pay raise for the show.
That's just disgusting, though, because you're using something that has damaged and affected negatively a lot of people, and you're just using it like for clout, basically, for clout. That's what it just boils down to me, and it's just like, what are you doing, dude? Like, and I just think that the fact that he got 5 months for that is actually wild to me, because I'm like, this dude literally faked a hate crime and is getting 5 months. And honestly, the fine for him is really nothing. So it's just spending 5 months in jail. Like that's insane. 5 months for faking a hate crime that got like national attention and caused a whole giant shitstorm. And he still lied about it in the courtroom. The guy should still like. I can't believe he's getting 5 months. I mean, because I mean, I kept frequent on this case a little bit because I just like it really was like, dude, it's just so low that this guy would do such a thing. But like even in the courtroom, he would still stand by his case that he didn't fake it, and that's what's crazy to me because he's basically lying under oath. Which I'm
Well,
like, isn't that illegal as well?
there is a reason for that, by the way. In many instances, it is better to not back down. Right? It's better to not back down. It is better to just kind of like to just stick with the lie. Because if you come out, if you believe it, then you can swing somebody to your belief structure. Okay. I'll just say it. Look at Snyderverse people. All right. And this will probably get clipped out and they're all in here. Oh, you're comparing it to Jussie Smollett. I'm not. I'm talking about maintaining the lie. How many people constantly tell you, wait for the merger, wait for this, wait for that, move the goalpost, kick the can down the road. They do all this stuff all the time because they want you to continue believing that they're not full of shit. And that's similar to what's happening here. It's the whole concept of like, don't apologize, don't acknowledge fault, because then you can still have some kind of believability with certain people down the road. Well, this is what happened. I was falsely convicted, blah, blah, blah. Somebody will eventually believe you. And from there, you might be able to get a foothold someplace else and build up from there. Because when I was reading a thing that he's still going to go back to acting and activism after this whole ordeal, right? And it's like, dude, I don't know where you're going to get a job acting. I mean, you couldn't even act good in court.
I mean, that was a good burn. But like activism, I think it's kind of ironic that he's going to do activism after the fact that he faked a hate crime and all that. Like I did think it's kind of like I think his credibility is shot. So I don't know if whatever he does, I think it's just gonna that's just gonna leave a sour taste in people's mouths. And like I don't know, like I'd be shocked if he gets a job at on major projects considering what he did. But I mean, shit, what is Bill Cosby working on stuff for now, or is he back on Twitter? So, I mean,
well, Bill Cosby is putting together a comeback tour, right? It's kind of like
yeah. So I mean,
yeah,
happened.
Well, Firesonic here says, but Smollett has no one believing him. Exactly. I don't know. I don't know. But look, there will always be people that believe. There will always be people that will believe that he was a victim of the system, that he was screwed over by prosecutors, that they just wanted to make him out to be this bad guy, and that he really was attacked. Never mind, all the information points to it being a load of shit. And the thing is, like, nobody wants there to be hate crimes. Well, I mean, besides racists and assholes and shit, right? But like the average person doesn't we want to find a way to solve this shit, to keep it from ever happening again. And all this stuff does is just make it worse.
Yeah.
And it gives, and I'll tell you this though, it gives the right wing ammo. The far right wing, who literally are racists and bigots and all this stuff, it gives them ammo to go, no, we're not. Look at him. He was lying. And all these other times people lie and they get caught lying, it ends up diminishing it when there's an actual thing that happens. It ends up making it called into question more often. The burden of it. There's always due process and everything else. And that's a whole other fucking conversation. But this case, look, they investigated him. They charged him. They gave him a fair trial. A jury of his peers found him guilty, and they sentenced him to 5 months. So you know what he's going to do in jail for 5 months? You know what he's going to probably end up doing? He's going to end up most likely writing a book. And right. But X Legion here, 95 man. Thank you. Says here, Journey might get him a job. I don't know. I mean, she's popping up in she's in Batgirl, right? She's in Batgirl. Maybe she'll get him a job. Like over there. I don't quite know. I don't know. Momoon here says, I used to believe OJ didn't do it. Yeah, right. Like that a lot of people believe
Love
OJ
don't
didn't do
fit,
it.
must have quit.
Oh man, that's one of the best lines in Johnny Cochran, man. Holy shit. You know, I blame OJ for the Kardashians at this point. All right. Like I blame,
Oh
cause,
man.
well, Robert Kardashian, their dad was one of his defense attorneys.
Well, yeah. That's, I mean, the OJ show kind of showed that as well. On Fox, the same people that produced and made American Horror Story, they did the OJ show, and they brought up the Kardashians, which I laughed because I'm like, oh my god.
Did you see that thing the other day? Kim Kardashian's like, nobody wants to work anymore. She's like, I work all the time. And I'm like, yeah, your family for one is affluent. You guys have money.
You could literally do nothing but sit on your ass and make more money than all of us could in multiple lifetimes. And I mean, like, wasn't it like, I'm not going to go into that, but I mean, we all know why Kim was famous in the first place. And I don't know if that situation brought fame to her family more, but.
Well, I mean, like it was on the heels of the Paris Hilton thing, right? So Paris Hilton had the One Night in Paris sex tape, and which was one of the most boring pornos I'd ever seen in my entire life. It was so bad. Like it was just so bad. So boring. I'm like, what is this? This isn't cinema. This isn't Kino. This is just like, she's so enthusiastic. She's like completely unenthusiastic here. She's just like, up, down, up, like I've seen better amateur shit. Anyway.
Oh my god! Then of course,
but then they did the Simple Life, right? With Paris and Nicole, going out there and like doing the socialites from Hollywood and New York and whatever, going and working on a farm, and it was this like kind of East meets West type situation, and a lot of people like they liked it because these girls were made to have personalities, which they don't. Well, I will say this. If you guys have a Roku, anyone here have a Roku, go find the Roku originals and listen, check out the Queeby. It's called Nikki Fresh, and it was actually like Nicole Richie. It was a pseudo doc, right? Like a fake documentary about Nicole Richie wanting to become a mumblecore rapper named Nikki Fresh. It's actually really funny. It was really good. So, I would say check that out because she actually got better with acting over the time, whereas Paris Hilton just kind of like retracted from public life. But Kim Kardashian and the whole Ray J sex tape, that was big. That was really big. And then they were able to spin that into Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which then influenced an entire generation of young girls to basically look to be popular by trying to show off their body. I mean, even Paris, like South Park made fun of this crap all the time. South Park absolutely made fun of this crap all the time. And it was the whole notion of just like, again, so stupid, so dumb. So anyway, there's that one there, right? Okay, I'm looking. Let's see here. Saw Philip DeFranco mention the Kardashian comment. Yeah. I'll tell you this. I feel bad for Philly D because I kind of feel like his channel's dying. He's not pulling in the numbers anymore. He used to pull in like 1.4 million views a day. Now he's barely cracking like 800,000. That's I think that tells me that he's got to kind of change up the content a little bit, maybe realize that the Philly D show isn't really, well, I'm not saying that it's dead, but he knows more about his business than I do. Kim Kardashian killed Kanye, according to H-Barts here. That's your opinion, sir. That's
No. H-Barts, you got that wrong. I mean, I usually agree with you, H-Barts, because I had to show the love to Max Rebo, but I think the real culprit is Pete Davidson.
I am surprised. Like Pete Davidson strikes me as the kind of guy who has got like a lollipop flavored dick. You know what I mean?
You know what my mom said about this thing? She's like, "Oh my god, why are all these chicks dating this guy? He must have a really big dick." And I'm like, "Oh my god," because I'm like, everyone's shocked that this dude is with Kim K. Like that's fucking crazy.
No, he was with Ariana Grande. They were engaged.
That was
right.
shocking.
And then after that, he hooked up with Kate Beckinsale. He went from Ariana Grande to Kate Beckinsale.
Bro
I think
is
he.
like,
Then there was a rumor that he hooked up with Miley Cyrus. You know, and then there was now he's dating Kim Kardashian. Like for one, like what? Dude, you're like 25 years old and she's like 42.
hey
I
man,
ain't knocking it.
he's going
I'm
through all
like,
the
dude,
classics.
get that cougar, right? Get that
No,
coug.
no, he's like, I fucking loved, was it Underworld? I gotta bang that chick or something like that. He literally is like he's going through his checklist right now.
Yeah, he's all like,
Freaking out.
all right. He's like, let's see here. I got Kim Kardashian, Kate Beckinsale, Ariana Grande. Who can I? Kirsten Dunst was big when I was a kid. You know, I remember like,
Madonna? No, she's gonna talk. She
you know,
talks
it's
about the White House. I'm not gonna. She's kind of crazy. I'll pass. On that one.
he's all like, man, I really like Amanda Bynes. Whatever.
Oh no, no,
He's
bro.
I'm just saying he's got like, I guarantee you, like he's probably got a list somewhere.
He got something.
But the thing is though, I don't know, but I mean, I don't know if dating Kim Kardashian is worth it. Like Kanye is like probably put out probably speculation, an opinion, maybe put out a hit on him, you know, like, I mean, Kanye is not taking it well. Kanye is not taking it well. And I don't get that. Like, is it just like, because she hooked up with the guy who's like 15, 20 years younger than Kanye and is actually funny?
Well, the thing is, Kanye is not always like. I mean, I'm not that surprised that he's taking it bad because, like, dude, the guy hasn't seemed like he's mentally stable for a long time. So, like, when like this news broke, I'm like, oh shit, this is where we're gonna get, you know, 05 Britney Spears type shaven head shit. I'm just waiting for that type of craziness.
Whoa, man, whoa! You can't talk about Britney Spears anymore. You're gonna get a lot of.
Oh shit!
I don't want to get canceled again. No. But I agree with you. I'm glad that. By the way, free Britney. So let's see. It's because he got cucked live on SNL.
Yeah. He said, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Canceled Britney Spears? What?
Yeah, I think Music Mania says, I think West will kill him. Also, Pete is not funny. Pete is very funny. I think Pete is very funny. He tours with John Mulaney, and I think Mulaney is one of the funniest fuckers alive. So, you know, I have also, you know, kind of a sarcastic sense of humor is my thing. But all right, why don't we move on? Because there's another thing here that I thought was kind of interesting. Is we've got a bit of controversy again. Disney always in the controversy. You know, they never get it right. They always get in trouble here. So according to MCUdirect.com, as the Disney, Netflix, Marvel shows start making their way over to Disney Plus and now adding in that parental advisory thing, people are pissed off. Parents are upset, Jimbo. Parents. It's a parents television group because nothing says Karens more than parents getting upset at television instead of monitoring what their kids actually fucking watch. So
they just need more wine. That's all they need. They just need more wine.
They need more wine. Yeah, there we go. Disney's like, here's some box wine. Shut the fuck up. So, all right. Even though Wanda, hold on, let's get this here. Okay. So while the news made waves with Marvel fan base and renewed the age-long canon debate, the announcement made waves in other ways. And this, of course, is that everything is coming to Disney Plus on March 16th. Now, after learning that the former Netflix Marvel shows such as Luke Cage, The Punisher, Daredevil, and more were leaving Netflix, Marvel fans were surprised at the find that the Marvel-branded shows would be finding a home. However, not everyone was thrilled with the news, including the Parents Television Council, which has now spoken out about Disney's decision to add violent or mature content to their streaming service. Tim Winter says here, for more than 98 years, the Walt Disney Company has been synonymous with the words family friendly, and I can think of no other corporation in American history that has been built more squarely on the backs and the wallets of parents and families. The company's eponymous platform, the Disney Plus, logically marketed itself as a family-friendly streaming service, and parents have placed their trust in Disney to deliver just that. If you have fucking Netflix, shut the fuck up. If you got Amazon, shut the fuck up. If you've got fucking, you know, like Paramount Plus or Showtime or HBO Max, shut the fuck up. You know, you can put kids locks on this stuff, man. And maybe they should. You know what? Like, if you're going to sit there and have a kid's profile and be like, age lock that shit. And I'll tell you this too, because, well, they go on to say, Tim Winter goes on to cry through through bleeding vagina. It says here, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
Oh my god.
It seems wildly off-brand for Disney Plus to add TVMA and R-rated programming to this platform, ostensibly to increase subscription revenue. So what comes next? Adding live striptease performances in Fantasyland at Disney World? I mean, like, if it's after dark, you know what I mean?
Universal, what does Universal do with Halloween? As soon as the gates close, they get rated R. I mean, shit. It's like, dude, like I don't get this mindset. Like they're taking one situation and blowing it so goddamn out of proportion. It doesn't even seem logical. It's like, dude, you're like, I read this and I'm just like, dude, what are these like? Tell me your job is irrelevant without telling me, because it's just like, I get you have a job to do with this, but like, dude, what the actual fuck is your case? Like I just don't get it, because it's like, dude, Netflix is one of the most popular, if not the most popular streaming service, and they have that to a T. They have separated, they limit their content for kids. It's like, there's a way you could do that, and they're doing it. Like, they want to please everyone. It's like, I mean, shit, you're not going to spend $6-something a month for just kid content, Like, you got Book of Boba Fett, you like want stuff, so it's like there's stuff for adults and kids to like, and that's what they do. They just like they have the adult humor in Disney movies. It's like they appease everyone, like, low key. So it's like I just don't see the problem.
Well, that's kind of the whole point, is like, going back, this guy doesn't understand that Disney owned Miramax, who did, Pulp Fiction and a number of other movies. They also owned Touchstone, which did a bunch of R-rated movies. They now own 20th Century Studios, which has a large library of R-rated movies like Predator, Alien, Die Hard, just to name a couple. Logan, thank you.
Oh, please stop. If they put that movie, like, as soon as they put parental guidance on it and they just put Logan on there day one, that would be like the biggest F to you. Because that movie would be perfect just for like a FU statement.
Oh yeah, totally. But this, all it is this is just like, it's just grandstanding. It's just like, they want people to write about like, here's the thing, we're giving them what they want by making fun of them. But that is literally what they're after. They're just after this kind of press here, because I love this next line here. There's no need for Disney Plus to compete with the explicit content on other streaming platforms. Disney is already at a competitive advantage with a streaming platform that's the safest one out there for families. Its foray into TVMA rated fare will forever tarnish its family friendly crown. You know who else has made a very similar comment to that? Grace Randolph. I'm not even kidding you. When they rehired James Gunn for Guardians 3, she did this little bit in her video about it, basically saying like, well, Disney's not going to be able to ever say that they're like family friendly again. Look, what did I fucking say when talking about this whole Florida bill, which I think is stupid, but it's like, look, I think Disney's reaction to it is dumb, but Bob Chapek, man, the leadership at Disney, their obligation is not to their employees. Their obligation is to their shareholders. They should care what their employees say, but at the end of the day, their shareholders are the ones who they are beholden to, because that's how business fucking works.
Yeah,
and
true.
That's all it is.
They could always hire more people. I mean, it's sad, but it's like, dude, I mean, obviously there's a lot of stuff that we don't like about Chapek that he's done and like decisions he's made in the past, but like, this is like, I mean, this one is, it's kind of like, I agree with what you're saying here about the shareholders. I mean, like, that's like the people who he actually probably listens to. He probably is like, oh, this employee stuff, it'll calm down like a month. He probably doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of part of it, is where what you've got is a scenario where, like, they are changing certain things. That's the whole point of right now. So what this article, I don't know if it actually talks about it there. It doesn't even matter really. But what these guys don't realize is that, people thought that everything was going to jump over to Hulu, right? They thought it was going to jump over to Hulu because Hulu has more of an adult fare to it. The only reason why Hulu was still existing was because of the deal that NBC and Comcast and Disney really came to in regards to the content. That deal expires in 2025. And right now, NBC is getting ready to, they've already pulled SNL and other content off of Disney Plus or off of Hulu in order to put it on Peacock. So when all of that NBC Universal content is gone and all that remains is Disney owned content, there is literally no need to have Hulu. You can merge it with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, have it be one streaming service with 3 different entities, right? And then charge a little bit more of a premium, which is always going to be the goal. And at that point, you are literally like putting yourself in massive, massive competition with Netflix and Amazon Prime without, again, HBO Max is going to take a long time to play catch up to that number. But really, it's like, this is the movie that Disney's going to do. And so all of those R-rated movies, all of the Die Hard films, all of the Alien movies, all, Logan, all those movies are all going to go over to fucking Disney.
It's already off of Hulu, like you said. I was gonna mention that as well because I literally just watched it on Hulu, and now I look at it and now it's like it's still on my list, but it's like, oh, I can't play the movie anymore, which I think it's stupid. It's like, if I can't watch it, why is it still on my list? Like, I don't get that. But I mean, ESPN Plus is definitely like, what is it? I know like when McGregor fights, their subscriptions go up, so like UFC is a big part of that deal, and like their whole agreement and deal with Disney is huge for that streaming platform because they have all these shows. They have now the Ultimate Fighter. They're bringing that back, which the new season kind of looks with the people that are hosting. But like, there's a lot of stuff like that Disney's doing and plans working with other companies that is going to really boost their streaming services. I definitely think that ESPN Plus is like a huge example of that, with merging all these large sports platforms together and doing all these shows and providing actually really great content.
I mean, like, well, I saw a comment here, I think from Fire Sonic. It said, wouldn't that be monopolistic? No, because there's no, no one is being like, in fact, actually, I don't think there can be a monopoly on streaming services because anyone can do it. You know what I mean? So it's not a monopoly. Like, even when it comes to film production, there were 6 studios. Now there are 5. I expect that number to get smaller as time goes on. But ultimately, no, there's still enough. Well, there's still enough variety. There's enough variety out there. There's enough variety in order for these companies to survive, and people are willing to pay for it if the content is good. The thing is, though, it's like I talked about over on Max's stream. What we're talking about here now is the survivability of theaters and how that is not even really going to apply the next 10 years, where all we're going to get in theaters are event films. And as I mentioned over there, and I'd like to kind of bring it up over here, as a thought experiment, if you are upset that theaters might be closing, ask yourself, how many times a year do you go to theaters and what movies do you see? And how many of them are what you would consider to be quote unquote event films versus anything else? And it's not something I need an answer to. It's just something to consider, because I ask myself the same question. Like, I like to go see movies, but generally with the hassle of going, I kind of tend to go for the bigger movies. And other stuff I look at, I'm like, well, I can watch that on streaming. It's not going to be the end of the world. So it's something where we are at as a society, and the last 2 years have only made it kind of worse. So it's something there to just to consider on that one here. But here's what I want to talk about today, because this is kind of the fun one before we get into more of the drama filled final story. And that, of course, is Darth fucking Vader, baby. Darth Vader. This is brought to us today by Entertainment Weekly. The first look at Vader is what I love about this is how iconic it is, how much it replicates that Empire Strikes Back image of
the
Vader.
Ominous smoke and the light.
So we're getting some seriously good stuff in regards to Kenobi when it comes out in just 2.5 months, which, oh my God, that's so close. But here's the thing with this. So according to Heroic Hollywood, and actually a lot of other outlets today as well, there's actually been a bit of a tease for the second season of Kenobi or something along those lines, which I'll be fair. I'm not a fan of that concept right now. All right. Because I don't want to get my fucking hopes up right now. That's where I'm at with this. Okay. So let's look. I mean, I don't know how you feel about this, Jimbo, or how you guys in the audience feel about this, but for me, see, I want there to be a kick-ass show, and I want there to be more because I love Ewan as Obi-Wan. But don't promise me something you can't deliver on. Don't
I
tease me on something you
I
can't deliver on.
my thoughts on this initially was just like, dude, and within a week we get like basically like trolled by these companies like with DC and stuff like that with their slate, and then now like they're saying that this limited time series might be, you know, potentially going on to 2 seasons, which beats the purpose of them calling it a limited series. And just like right as the teaser's really saying it's a limited series, they're talking about like there's rumors of season 2. Like that is actually like, I mean, don't get me wrong, if they do season 2, oh, I'm all game for it. But I just think it just like, you know, it just kind of is like, what?
Well, yeah, it's we're not there yet. Like that's the whole thing. Like we're not there yet. Now, Star Wars on Disney Plus, in my opinion, is a proven concept. It's been proven. I mean, mainly The Mandalorian. The Book of Boba Fett, it had its problems. It's still enjoyable, and I need to sit down and watch it all again, like in one, you know, like now that I've removed myself from it, because I was disappointed with the finale, but like
my dad loved the finale. He just watched it the other day because he was gone when it came out, and he just watched it. He said he loved it, and he's a huge Boba Fett fan. But he's like, yeah, they just did not. The story wasn't all that I thought it was gonna be. I was really hyped for it in The Mandalorian, but he's just like, I just feel like they didn't deliver like they did with The Mandalorian, which I'm like, I get that, and I feel the same way. But at the end of the day, like I'm just happy we're getting like consistent, planned out Star Wars content. And like, but that the thing is, it's gonna be like a lot of streaming, like with Netflix's deal of releasing a movie, you know, every week, or is it, or once every week?
It's like pretty much every week. Yeah,
quantity, and that's like how I feel like it's gonna. That's my problem with this. It's like it wasn't like Book of Boba Fett wasn't terrible. It just felt like they could have done way better.
There was really good, and then there was really cheesy, and then there was stuff in the middle. Like when it was good and when it fired on all cylinders, it was great. And then like, but when it didn't, you're like, you could feel it. But yeah. I still I need to go back and watch it again. I just need to go back and watch it again. Because there is shit that I like. The Return of the Mandalorian episode is still god tier television in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, and then having Mando back with Boba Fett at the end, like that part was really great. I just wanted more out of the story. I think I think you and I will agree on that one. So talking here about potential is for more Obi-Wan. You know, Kathleen Kennedy did say that it was going to be a limited series. Deborah Chow confirmed this. And she says it was definitely conceived as a limited series, and it is one big story with a beginning, middle, and end. The approach has always been that it's one full story. And we knew that. We knew that going into it. We knew that it was going to be like 6 episodes. It was going to tell the story. I'm wondering now, though, if the 6 episodes is kind of like a bad play, you know, like, because we've done this with Marvel. Marvel has done the 6 episodes and like it kind of falters a little bit.
Yeah. But
you know,
I mean,
like,
isn't it going to be like an hour episode each and it's going to be consistent time?
I hope. Well, I hope. I don't know yet. We don't know. They've fluctuated with the time.
But like, okay, that's my only problem with obviously the Marvel shows is that they're not consistent with the run times, and like their episode like 6 episodes, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's not enough time to accurately depict the story that they're trying to tell and actually make us give a shit about some of the stuff that's going on in the story. So it's like, I just hope that the way that they, I mean, Deborah Chow's a great director, and I believe Kathleen Kennedy is gonna do really well with the stuff and producing it, and I feel like they're generally gonna do well with structuring the show. And when we watch it, it'll just be a testament to that. But it's just like, will it be enough to completely flesh out everything that they're gonna try to do? Because I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of obviously history with the movies, and then trying to expand the characters that we haven't seen in such a long time. So it's like,
yeah. Well, H. Bryce here makes a great point. It says Peacemaker had better runtimes, and I think that's when you have television. We are used to watching television in a certain way, a certain format. 44 minutes, people are okay with that. If you have it shorter than that or longer than that, like anything past an hour, it feels like an investment. But if you have anything shorter than that, it feels like you're not getting the full amount of the experience because you're not expecting 35 minutes. You're expecting 44 minutes. It messes with us because of how we've been trained. And Netflix has some shows that kind of ebb and flow in that regard. And it's never really been met with like a lot of, you know, I've seen, what was I watching? There was one show. Oh no, I think it was like Squid Game, right? Like Squid Game has got 8 episodes, I think, 8 or 9 episodes. And each episode is roughly an hour. And then you get to one episode and it's like 30 minutes or something. And you're like, why? I mean, but for the story, it makes sense. And the rest of it is so good that you're caught up in it. But like, and that would have been the thing if that would have been week to week, which I still think it should be, but they would have had to pad that one out. Because if you would have had hour, 30 minutes, people would have felt completely cheated. And you don't want that. So, but I do think they need to figure out these runtimes a bit more. So anyway, here, okay. So what, one episode of
Squid Game. Yeah.
Oh yeah. One episode is 32 minutes. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So anyway, Kathleen Kennedy here did talk about this, and she heard, this is her comment. She says, it's certainly something we talk about, mainly because everybody came together and had such an incredible time. Ewan had an incredible time. Hayden had an incredible time. So certainly from that point of view, everybody involved would love to see this not end. But we have to really spend our time asking the question, why would we do it? If we were to decide to do anything more with Obi-Wan character, we'd have to really answer the question, why? And that is, of course, the reality, right? Like you have to answer that question. Why would you want to continue with this character? Is there money? Sure. Is this going to blow up Disney Plus subscriptions? Absolutely. Merch sales, all that stuff's going to go crazy. But if the story isn't there, and that's kind of been the problem with a lot of this kind of, you know, as they figure out these shows, I should say, as they figure out all of these streaming shows and how they want to play them and everything else, what we have to look at here is the possibility that, you know, like they may not have all the answers, and they're learning as they go. And I hope that they figure it out. You know, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Yeah, here we go. H Bars here says the Stranger Things season 2 Chicago episode felt like it lasted 2 years. Oh yeah, dude. Episode 7, right? We all remember, or episode. Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
Did you ever see that season
bad.
2?
I've seen all of it, and I think I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
where
Bad.
it was like, hey, look, here's a massive cliffhanger. Shit's gonna go down. Oh no, what's gonna happen next? And it's like an hour of like 11 on a side mission in Chicago with like really horrible characters. And you're like, oh my God.
But the outfit she comes back with was pretty fire. It was a pretty nice
Sure,
outfit.
sure. Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
it was such a throwaway episode. I'm like, bro, I think I just like was on my phone majority of that time because I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Because like these characters are not gonna mean anything in like an episode or two. So I'm like, I don't get the point. Like, I just don't care. Like,
I'm absolutely like when I do my rewatch before season 4, I'm just gonna skip that episode. Like I know what happens. I'm good. You know, get back to Hawkins. Give me the people I like. You know, give me the characters I like and shit.
They're like the mods. They're like the mods in Boba Fett. I don't give a shit. Just move on.
God, the mods. Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, I know the mods, man. Like such an interesting idea that was just so poorly executed. And I blame Rodriguez for that like crazy.
Dude,
but anyway,
so awful.
Why don't we, this is because we're on the Star Wars subject right now. And I do want to take a bit of a break from talking for a minute. We can check out the Star Wars, The Old Republic, Legacy of the Sith. This has been requested multiple times by Rational Skeptic, who has super chatted me multiple times to check it out. And I have always felt bad. So check this out. I haven't seen this yet. Let me just make sure it is the settings. I don't want 480p. Oh, I'm not going to
give it the highest quality, man.
It's StreamYard will fuck it up. StreamYard will fuck it up.
Oh man,
it's StreamYard. Yeah. StreamYard's all like, wait a minute, you want us to process this not through a potato? What's wrong with you? H Part's here, the Book of Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
And I was playing Cyberpunk 2077 while I was watching the show, and the mods really did feel like, I'm like, yeah, what you know, they definitely did some modifications to them. But all right, yeah, this is the cinematic. I haven't seen this yet. If you guys happen to be fans of the Old Republic Star Wars game, which I do feel has put out some of the best cinematics for Star Wars. So why don't we give this thing a go? Let me get the volume up there. Blood and gore, mild sexual themes. Wait, what? Sith don't fuck.
Focus, Sahar. know it is difficult to accept. But the Force has chosen you.
Damn.
Destroy this machine and all records of it.
Yes, Master Moore.
Marcus. Traitor. Go, now!
What was that?
Sahar? Is that you?
You're too late, Marcus. Focus, Tsar.
I did it! Did you see? Wow.
Will you be taking both children?
No. The brother shows little connection with the Force. Zahar. The Force has chosen you.
Sahar! No!
I sense your past, Padawan.
You can't take her!
Your pain, your fear. This is how the Sith and Jedi maintain control. Revealing the ways of the Force to some, and keeping it from others.
Zahar! Don't listen to him!
How many were left behind? So that the Jedi could play God.
Well done, young one. Now give it to me.
You could have saved my brother.
What?
Was I chosen by the Force? Or you?
Now's not the time.
Do you know what it is your master just destroyed?
Zahar, listen to me.
A machine built to find those the Jedi didn't deem worthy.
Silence! Give it to me. Now, Padawan!
It's not too late. Give me the plans.
No!
We can still find your brother.
I've only ever protected you. You must trust me.
Very well.
Zahar. I'm sorry.
Oh, fuck, dude.
All your life you've been in a cage, Padawan. free.
Okay, so couple things. One, fuck yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was amazing. And then two, why the fuck doesn't Disney just like hire these dudes to like do animated movies for fucking Disney Plus?
Oh my, bro, that's what I was gonna say. Like, that was literally gonna be my whole point about this. Is like, do you see the quality of the animation? Like, did you see like that close up on Melgus's eyes? Like the detail?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I like ever since like even the classic ones when they like initially like their what is it? Do you know like back like 10 years ago when they first like released like 4 or 5 different cinematics and like that they were like crazy. I can't remember exactly what the
I remember.
are.
Yeah, that was that
But,
was
like,
in 2010. They started releasing the cinematics.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Even back then, I was like, oh my god, I don't know why they don't like hire like the people that made this and make fully fledged out stories and continue this. But like they've evolved so far from that, and like this is amazing. And I'm like, I would be perfectly fine if they did Old Republic, not live action, just did it simply off of this type of animation because it's great. And this is Star Wars to me. I love it, and that's what I'm saying. The God of War, like live action, I'm not feeling the live action bit, but if they took the people that made these cinematics and did the God of War show with this style of animation, I'll be perfectly fine with that. And you can keep the voice actor and all that stuff. So it's just,
yeah. Well, H Bart's here says epic trailer, game not so much. Yeah, I know it's a KOTOR MMO. Well, it's the Old Republic MMO. Yeah, I'm not a big MMO fan. What's going on, Saggy? Did you watch any of that?
I just got here. I just heard that you needed better co-hosts, so I was like, let me come on so that he
who's telling you that? Who's putting crap in your ear?
I don't know. Your comment section, man. They really are demanding you get like better co-hosts.
No, you're reading a comment from yesterday, and it was not like that guy's an ass.
I was just trying to be the dynamic. I'm just trying to like
trying to be the dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just wiping the tear away from Maya. Don't worry about it.
So anyway, okay. So the whole thing here is I agree. I think like look, the ability to do these cinematics are getting better and better and better. Obviously, Unreal Engine 5 is you could absolutely pull this off, and I feel like oh god, here comes Caden.
I did this on purpose.
So no, it's I like it. I've always felt the cinematics for the Old Republic were fantastic, and this is how you do a Knights of the Old Republic movie. You give it to us as an animated film on Disney Plus, and or fuck it, even put it in theaters, and actually
that would
just
be
use. Well, yeah, I mean, like, or they could do it in the form, like, in the same animation that they've done Bad Batch and Rebels and everything else, because I feel like the animation's gotten better. And Filoni, but I would love to see it look like this. I'd love to see it look like it's like this.
Yeah, I definitely would not like go initially towards, them kind of doing the Clone Wars animation for this. I feel like that would just be like it works for the Clone Wars, but for me, I would just be like, you know what? I'll pass.
Either way, I liked it quite a bit. So, First Century Coulter says that was boring. No, it wasn't. Shut up. That was not boring. That was great. That was Star Wars.
Lightsaber fights were way better than the whole
this
sequel
is
trilogy.
But this is what fans want. Like, okay, so here's the thing. Here's my take on this. I think fans want that kind of Jedi v Jedi, Jedi v Sith, whatever, that kind of action where they're using their Force abilities, where they're using, everything around them, the way that we would imagine that happening in a video game. And that's kind of what I think people really want. Like The Mandalorian does well because it establishes lore and characterization, and it's cool. But one of the problems with the sequel trilogy was like, okay, who was fighting with the lightsabers? It was always Force Awakens. It was Finn and Rey and Kylo. And then, okay, well, you get rid of Finn and you put him with Rose Tico. on a stupid ass mission to a casino planet. Get rid of him for the next movie. Oh, well, what do you know? It's, there's, a fight scene between, a bunch of them and so it's the Praetorian Guards that were like, okay, that was about it. And then you get to the third movie, and the third movie's got one fight scene over there on the remnants of the Death Star. And then you got the final fight where Kylo's battled the Knights of Ren, which was a cool scene nonetheless. But like there wasn't much in way of lightsaber fights. And I think that's what, like Lucas brought the lightsaber battles in the prequel trilogy. Say what you will about the story. The lightsaber battles were cool as shit. That's what people want, man.
Yeah, there was a great lack in lightsaber fights in the sequel trilogy. Like a real lack.
Well, and plus the story was, I don't know how the 6-minute trailer, I feel like there was more story development in the whole sequel trilogy in terms of, and that's what's sad.
Like when he cut that dude's head off, I was like, oh damn, I did not see that coming. I thought the guy was gonna die, but like that was fucked up.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm here for it. To be fair, what is it here? Bar says that the sequel trilogy had awful lightsaber fights. Well, here's the thing though, is I think the way that George Lucas described the lightsaber duels back in the 70s had a lot to do with like the power that you wield with the lightsaber. It's meant to be heavy. Like it's not meant to be like ninjas and katanas. It's meant to be like a broadsword sort of thing. And I think that's one of the reasons why in Mando, in the Return of the Mandalorian episode of Book of Boba Fett, when he's holding the Darksaber and he's having trouble wielding it, the armorer is like, well, it's heavy because, you're trying to fight against it. Yeah, so it's like, so the way that they approached that actually was very much in line with the way I believe Lucas was intending it. So like that makes a lot more sense. But really if you give people like Jedi versus Sith and actual like force power full out like type stuff, people are going to lose their shit. No holds
barred, just straight up brutal action like we saw in that that trailer. Oh, that's why I love about this. I'm like, they've been doing this stuff on these cinematics for years, but yet how the hell did they screw up the lightsaber fights in the sequel? Like that was like my biggest like takeaway. I was like, dude, these are so weak.
Didn't they also get the people from like the Raid or something to do the choreography in The Force Awakens or something, and like or whatever, and like it was like, oh my god, it's gonna be so good, and then like they weren't even like really the choreographers. They were like in a scene with Han Solo.
Yeah.
So
well, I feel like there was a lot there. Again, I think the sequel trilogy was an experiment in corporate America, corporatism. And the legacy is now look, the legacy of Star Wars now it's Mando. All right. It's Mando. It's not the sequel trilogy. It's Mando. It's like, and that's where they're going to have to really come to terms with that for how they market this shit going forward. Like, I'm sorry, Galaxy's Edge should be about Mandalorian, fucking, Galactic Star Cruiser. From my understanding, the story takes place like between, the rise of, I think it's like I think it's maybe the Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi. It's between that time.
So. Yeah.
And it's like, no one cares about that time. Well, it can't be between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Cause it's like 2 days, but
it can't be. So it's probably between The Force Awakens and
cause that was a year. Yeah. It's like, again, with the original trilogy, it was, you had A New Hope. And then it was a couple years later was Empire Strikes Back. And then after that was a couple years after fucking Empire to Return of the Jedi. There was a time jump between each movie. Yeah. To allow for the growth of these characters and for the war to wage on. Here it was like first movie the next day. And you're like, okay. And then the final film like jumps forward a year, but you're like, it should have gone longer than a year. It should have been like a couple years. It picks up and the resistance is just, battered and broken and bloody. And like, they need help. I don't know. There's a lot there, but again, but 5-year jump after Return of the Jedi to the Mandalorian timeline with what that's going to give us is going to be great. That's at least my take on that one. But
also, I think with Rebels and the animation stuff, especially gives good timing for that. Especially Rebels.
I'm really looking forward to
trilogy.
The what's it called? The other Bad Batch season 2. I'm really looking forward to that one. Yeah. So, all right, why don't we get in here to the final little bit of the night here? This, of course, is going to be the controversial part of the stream, even though we already talked about Jussie Smollett.
I missed that one. I
Yeah,
missed
you
that
weren't
one.
here for that. You weren't here for that.
know.
I
was
put out
playing
the
Mario
bat signal.
Party. I was doing Mario Party. I had to play. I won, by the way. It was pretty crazy. That game is evil, man. Like, I was fourth for the longest time and I was pissed. And then for some reason I got lucky and I started winning. After I stopped caring about it, I started doing good and I was like, all right. And I won with 7 stars and I collected 600 coins. It was crazy. I have not lost in Mario Party at my house yet. It's really friggin' weird.
There's an easy loophole you can do to get a ton of stars. My friend at our last hangout, he took advantage of that and he got like 9 stars back to back. It was bullshit.
And it was 30. It was set to 30 turns. I was like, okay, I don't want to be 30 turns, but it was set to 30 turns, and I was winning, so I couldn't like not play. But yes, I did miss the Justice Smollett part.
Well, we basically were just making fun of him.
I mean, what else would you do to him? He's a freaking scumbag.
Exactly. Yeah. But say, do you think 5 months is a little too light, considering what he did?
Yeah.
I mean,
but again, there's people that did so much worse that gets less too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Months.
I mean, I think 5 months. I don't know. I think what he did is like it was really bad. 5 months, I think. First time, if it's a first time offense, like, and you know, was a lesson learned. At least he does something. You know, I don't know.
I think the fine should be bigger, though. I don't know.
I think I think he should be 100% fined. I think he should be fined. Like, do 5 months, and then his fine should be up there because
I think when he's a celebrity and he used his status and blew up this whole thing nationwide, and he lied about it, and that's just it's.
I don't think it deserves a year. I don't think it's like a year sentence that needs to happen. It's not like he was like he deceived a lot of people. He did no one got physically hurt, thankfully. But yeah, at the end of the day, I do feel like 5 months and a much bigger fine just so he knows, like, don't do this shit again. That was just dumb. I don't even know what he was thinking.
It's weird. It's one of those things.
It's a weird situation, yeah. But he's a piece of shit for that, so fuck him.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely that. You know what? Hey, the Jussie Smollett arc is over, and I'm fine with that because fuck that guy.
It's finally over.
It's finally over after all these years. It's been almost 3 years now. Like, it's been a long time.
It was like literally.
I forgot he existed. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, his career is gonna go down the drain.
What career, bro? Probably. I would not hire him.
Exactly.
What?
Exactly. His career is like, I mean, Empire is his only thing, and even that he wasn't even.
How much? Well, like I said, he's going to claim to be the victim of the system, and that's going to go, and he'll probably find. Yeah, he was already locked up too, so he probably got a suspended
himself
sentence.
A victim.
No, like the thing is when he's like that whole. Did you guys see that clip of him saying, "Oh, I'm not crazy. If I am not suicidal, so if anything happens, you know who did it," type of thing. And I'm like,
the Epstein approach.
Yeah, that thing. I was just like, oh, okay. I'm like, great.
Yeah, I mean, weird flex, but
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, if I mysteriously die in prison,
right?
It was clearly somebody else who did it.
Bro,
here's the thing: there'll be security camera footage of him actually killing himself. And then like the note will be like, someone else killed me. And then they'll be like, no, but you did it. We saw you. Like, you did it yourself.
No.
And then
he'll come back.
No.
Like, no, bro, it was someone else.
Well, no, here's the thing. It's like he acts like he got like a life sentence. Like, bro, 5 months is not the end of the fucking world, bro. Like, you fucked up. 5 months is like literally lenient. And you're like making this whole thing like, yo, if I said like he literally was like about to start snitching on people. Say, bro, it's 5 months. It's not a life sentence. Calm down.
It's 5 months and you did something awful. So I mean, you deserve it, dude.
Yeah, I think it's fine. 5 months.
Get locked up, right? He gonna get locked up. Yo, real talk. Biggie and Tupac still alive. Yeah, I'm snitching. Who else wants some? Tech 9? Yeah, he ain't dead either. It's all a conspiracy, yo. And he just going out with a bang. It's weird. It's like, bro, 5 months. It's not like you're a god.
He's all like, I know who killed Tupac.
Nobody. Tupac's still alive, bro.
I agree with you. I actually agree with you. I actually agree with you. Yeah, I think Tupac's alive.
If you watch the documentary on it, I'm telling you, man. That
you know who else is alive? And no one will believe me, but I'm telling you guys. You know who else is alive?
Elvis?
Epstein. Epstein ain't dead. I believe hyperbolically, but I believe that Epstein is alive.
I mean, anything's possible. You got a
Nothing
lot of
about that
people-
made sense to me. Yeah, but
No, that anything's possible. I would
It's
believe that.
weird.
That's not a
That whole
far
thing's
fetched
weird.
theory. I think that
Yes.
I think it's a decent theory.
I think he knew enough on other people to like, all right, fake my death, get me out of here. You know what? And then like pin it all on Ghislaine Maxwell and go from there. But
Amelia Earhart.
Amelia Earhart, yeah, she's living
in the
out her
Bermuda
days in the
Triangle.
South Pacific, man. That's where she's at right now. H Bar's here says Osama bin Laden is alive.
Oh my god.
What do they
I'm not gonna lie.
dump him in a pet cemetery?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if all these people who died or who had power, control, and anything are still alive, and they just faked their
Probably
death.
take their money and live
Maggie
off on an
killed
island
Biggie.
somewhere.
Pretty much.
Well,
I don't
oh,
get it.
Before we get into this final bit tonight, here's something funny. I got a DM last night from somebody who heard me on Max's stream when I was from my car, and he was admonishing me because I wasn't telling jokes. Like literally said, would it kill you to tell a joke on Max's stream?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I thought that was one of the weirdest messages
With
I've
Ma-
ever gotten.
With Max's audience, sometimes your jokes hit, and sometimes your jokes just piss off the audience.
Well,
So,
it's a bit of column A, a bit of column B, but I do it on purpose. Like, what do you want me to do tonight? I think I made some good cracks at Krypton. It was pretty funny.
I missed all that.
yeah.
I had to leave.
Good,
I was like
good.
getting summoned.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But anyway, why don't we get in talking about some drama? Because this is causing a lot of Snyderverse fans to kind of like question their faith. We're finally getting to the end of the tunnel, I think, on this one, because people are realizing that
Another arc almost
maybe
finished.
certain grifters are maybe not telling them the 100% God's honest truth with what's going on.
Wait, you're telling me they're lying to their audience?
What?
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Come
Somebody's
on, man.
lying on the internet?
Don't
Someone-
lie to me.
Oh,
Whoa.
God.
People don't just go on the internet and tell lies.
I
What are you
always come
talking
on
about,
the most
Jarbo?
awkward situation.
You're telling me they're just taking advantage of a group of people? What?
What?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
For profit?
Oh my
For profit, for
Oh my
for
God.
super chats, for memberships.
Are you
All I'm
serious,
saying,
Jarbo?
Disgusting. Get out of here.
yeah,
Jarbo.
I know. It's
You-
such a
you're
it's such
part
a
of the agenda,
weird.
Jarbo.
I know part of the agenda. Clearly, I'm on the payroll for Warner Brothers. So let's take a look at this here. All right. So as Warner Media Discovery deal nears close, David Zaslav shapes up executive team with eye on $3 billion cost savings target. Now, one of the things I just want to point out is that earlier tonight, there was a comment made on Max's stream about how this $3 billion number here was part of revenue synergies, which was $3 billion that Zaslav would have to play with in order to quote unquote end contracts, which is not at all what revenue synergy means.
Right.
I don't know what that means.
And well, all it is basically revenue synergy is like
Neither
the two
does
companies,
Krypton.
the two,
It means it's
the
gonna
two.
go into
I'm not
our-
trying to drag on the guy too much. He's clearly drunk and whatever. But
Oh,
but he's nah. That was funny though.
Oh my
But anyway. So it's when two companies realize that they'd make more money working together than apart. That's basically what revenue synergy means. So to claim that it's about like clearing out contracts or buying out contracts is literally not true. And it just goes to show you that there's this mindset of false information, of bad information that doesn't ever get checked. Because I don't think people on that side ever really want to check information. They just want to like believe what they want to believe. And again, they have that whole thing of, well, we were right about the Snyder Cut coming out. Well, yeah, that was also a filmed product that just
It's
needed
also a rare situation.
a very rare situation, but they think that it can be replicated time and time again. Anyway, Discovery shareholders are set to okay the $43 billion merger with Warner Media on Friday, the last big step before AT&T completes the spinoff. Ahead of the deal's expected close next month, the who's in, who's out parlor game of gaining intensity as CEO David Zaslav finalizes the leadership team. Here's the other thing to consider with this. David Zaslav is literally all he's acting as is like basically a property manager of Warner Brothers. I don't think people realize this. AT&T still has a 70-30 stake in this, right? They still have 70% control of this whole merger. Zaslav is coming in with a minor. By the way, Zaslav is coming in to literally push HBO Max into this further into the streaming world. That's why he's brought in. I think if you followed, Discovery Plus and the 5 million subs it has there, here's the thing with this one, by the way, why would you bring in a guy who to run this whole operation, whose streaming service only has like 5 million people, but it's in households of like a lot more. You know what I mean? So he knows how to get into people's households, and that's what he's trying to do, but they want to use HBO Max as a way to do it. Also, HBO Max just went to like 15 new European countries. So there's a broader market right now. Finally, I know. There's a lot there with this, but it's a lot of small details. So top managers who have been with the exec for years will be sticking around, working with a few battle-tested Warner executives. Keep in mind, this is something to worry about. It's something to pay attention to here. Few battle-tested Warner execs. Though likely without others. Kevin Mayer, the former Disney exec known for leading the launch of Disney Plus and a string of M&A deals, is helping shape the new org chart as a high-level consultant to Zaslav. The structure will be leaner and less top-heavy than what Warner vets are accustomed to as they settle into a third corporate ownership group in 4 years. And that's why I think they're going to take their time with stuff, because this is the third corporate ownership in 4 years. That is massive.
That's weird.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's just weird hearing that too. It's like in 4 years they've been owned by 3 other different corporates. Like,
yeah. So weird. I mean, that's kind of the whole angle with it, right? So what we've got going on here is another colleague said Zaz doesn't do layers. Okay. Discovery and AT&T have promised the merger will deliver at least $3 billion in cost savings as soon as the close happens. They will be under pressure to pay down debt, while back office and administrative functions, as well as business areas like distribution, advertising, marketing, are likely to drive most of the savings. Rethinking and streamlining the ranks is a priority. So, I mean, obviously, people are going to lose their job as redundancy kicks in, and having a tighter team of people that are going to be able to kind of like oversee multiple things at once is going to be massive. That's why I think Ann Sarnoff is going to go, because last one hired, first one fired, and she's not as battle worn as other people, who work for the different companies. Trying to find the other little bit here. In addition to the tighter formation, a new entity is likely to favor Zaslav's alma mater. This has been a pattern where Discovery acquired Scripps Networks, and Zaslav's approach when he was hired as CEO in 2017 after a lengthy run at NBC Universal. All right, they're a crew. They're Discovery guys, and they stick together. So loyalty is going to be a big thing here.
And also just that one, there are also some significant incumbents to consider. Casey Bloys started at HBO in 2004, has been overseeing both HBO and HBO Max after the high-profile exits of Richard Plepper and Kevin Riley 3 years ago, earning public shout-outs from Zaslav along the way. Warner Bros. Pictures chief Toby Emmerich also has been a canny survivor, climbing ladder even as his former home, New Line, was subsumed into the Warner machine. In the final year of his current contract, he has more than a few hits to point to, most recently the Batman. So basically saying that, like, yeah, this is his final year in his contract, so and they're just pointing out that the Batman's a good hit point. Ann Sarnoff, chair and CEO, Warner Media Studios Network Group, is a newer and to the fold by comparison. Having joined Warner in 2019, she oversees lots of valuable turf across film and TV, especially with Warner still in the licensing game. So this is just outshining basically what Casey Bloys and Ann Sarnoff and Toby Emmerich have done in the past year.
Yeah. And that's kind of a big that's a big deal. Like, look, people in the Snyder fandom like to bash on Emmerich, but Emmerich has been around for a while. As I've said, he's got nowhere else to go. You know what I mean? And so it's like, they may not renew his contract. They might renew his contract. I got no idea. But really, it's like he's kind of at the top. Like, it's like Tom Rothman left Fox and then it was brought back into Sony during a whole situation, to bring down budgets. And Keelar is the one that I've said in this last year with the whole day and date stuff is the one who really is got the target on his back. But even this kind of goes on to say here that even Keelar may not be out as we thought. So it says here, Zaslav is known for being hands-on, meaning one scenario seen as unlikely is for anyone to come in as a direct replacement for Warner Media CEO Jason Keelar. Since last May, when the transaction was first proposed, it was widely understood that Kilar was not expected to continue after the deal closes. Nevertheless, he has been at the controls as Warner Media started to find its footing, beating internal forecasts with 73.8 million subs to HBO and HBO Max by the end of 2021. Among other strides, a close associate with Kilar, Hulu vet and HBO Max lead or head Andy Forssell is expected to be in the new mix, given his tech acumen and involvement with the turnaround of the streaming since the rocky launch in 2020. So what this effectively, I think, means, here we go. And then also here's this other bit right here, right? And this is going to piss off a lot of people. So another reason for the willingness to let current Warner team prove themselves is the strength of the film and TV slates. The film studio has returned to a theatrical window for many releases after its day-and-date effort on HBO Max last year, has a number of marquee releases this year and next: Fantastic Beasts, DC League of Super Pets, Black Adam, and Shazam. Next year is Aquaman, The Flash, Blue Beetle, The Meg 2, and Wonka. And I mean, if those can do well, then it's going to showcase that the people in charge have done it. And like I've said before, and I'm sure Caden will back me up here, Warner Brothers Television is very profitable. Very profitable.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's one of the angles with that kind of stuff here. And obviously, look,
if they weren't profitable, they wouldn't have a whole studio in Burbank to themselves.
Yeah, they do. It's a big place. It's a big place in Burbank. Studio. It's bigger than Universal, I think.
Yeah. I think WTV has a lot of stages and then like releases 2 of their stages to like other people. So it's like they have a lot. It's not as like people think, oh, Warner Bros. TV is, just CW, but they have a lot more than just CW. Like HBO and I think, and they also lease 2 of their studios to NBC and Showtime. So yeah, it's not as lacking as people think it is.
Well, no, it's one of those things where looking at the idea here, it appears to me that, obviously the reorg is going to take time. Some people won't last. Some people will last. I think the people that have been able to survive the different mergers and show their merit are going to stick around. I'm sorry, but as I said, with the success of the Batman, and the fact that when you watch that movie, and you've seen that movie, right? You guys have seen it. Mm-hmm. If you watch the end credits, whose name is pretty prominently featured in the end credits? Walter fucking Hamada.
Oh yeah.
Walter Hamada is featured in the end credits of that movie. He's right there. And and
the thing with the Batman is, it's, even though it transitioned between creative teams, it still is Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada's like birth baby. Like it's both their first collaborations from day one together. And so it's,
and they're going to take all the success from this. They're going to be able to claim the accolades from it. And whether or not Snyder fans want to agree with that or not, again, it's like, look, the last sane one here makes a good point. He's like, I am just thinking that Zaslav will control the budget better. $400 million for a movie and market budget is, or for the movie and marketing, and getting $748 million is far from better profit margin. Well, the thing is like, a lot of these movies do need a slimmer budget. And I do think with the advancement of technology, like the stagecraft technology and also using Unreal and other cost saving measures as we advance technology, that's kind of what happens here. But in these situations, though, what we're seeing is, again, like if they can minimize the budget, they can make more profit and then create more content for HBO Max. But that's also going to be really where things are. Like I said on Max's stream earlier, and I've repeated this here. Look at Suicide Squad. All right. Like, it did really well on home video. It's done very well on HBO Max. The Peacemaker was a very popular show, and they're coming back for more. And James Gunn, once he's done with Guardians, is going to focus on Peacemaker, writing and directing all the episodes for season 2, as well as developing the next show. I think his focus is going to be on having little corporate oversight, being able to play in this world, and then still getting original properties for HBO Max or even theatrical that they're not going to like hold his hand like Disney would.
I also think with it's crazy how him like obviously we know that James Gunn was already in talks with Warner Brothers before he was fired. It just made it even more easier after he was fired to do it, to actually sign the contract. But I just want, it's just crazy to think, imagine a world where James Gunn did stay at Disney and where he would have been the head of the cosmic side at Marvel.
Yeah.
And how different some of these films that came out that were cosmic, like Eternals, it was kind of cosmic and earthly. So I wonder how different that.
Well, I mean, just imagine what it would have been like if the people had faith in Zach. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
We'd already at this point probably have the third Justice League movie, and it would have been doing it quite a bit. But hey, now we got Army of the Dead.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Affleck was always gonna die.
He was always gonna die this year in the
He's gonna die. I was quiet this whole time.
I'm just
Y'all talking about business. I got bored.
Yeah, because I know because
business is boring.
Money talk bores me. Like, unless it's going in my pockets, I'm like, we're talking about money and for murder and all these people making billions of dollars. I don't give a fuck.
Well, what we're talking about is the fact that, like, again, the facts are not on the side of a lot of the Snyder fans, and you know, I'm not trying to be mean to them. I'm really not, but it's like
I beg to differ.
I know I could be mean. I could be very mean if I wanted to. I could very much criticize a number of our associates.
There's
how
one thing that you haven't mentioned yet, and that this is very important.
There goes Jimbo.
Does he have a good business card though?
Oh my
What
God,
type of business card does he have?
It's true.
I don't know what his business card is. I haven't met him.
Now this is a problem. This is a problem.
By the way, did you see the private chat?
Yeah, but I gotta start wrapping it up, so we'll have to hold that one.
It's not long. Come on.
I gotta get to bed.
I promise you, it's only 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
2 minutes. All right, hold on. Rational here for $5, buddy. Thank you. Says it's going to be funny when Zaslav's cheap ass tells Hamada $100 million is too much for a Batman film, and to make the budget $50 million for the sequel. The thing is, though, they're not going to do that because the Batman has made money. I could see that happening for other movies. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, $50 million for something that's going to go to HBO Max is pretty average. You know, I mean, at this point right now, we're kind of looking at the scenario of what is it? Like mid-budget movies going to HBO Max. I don't see mid-budget movies really going to theaters.
I honestly think the movie that greatly exemplifies that it's currently filming right now, especially on the DC side, is Batgirl. You know, that might have like probably 75 million, and it's going to straight to HBO Max because it's like they're not losing a lot. They're just like it's just under.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things I enjoy is, sorry, I had a brain fart real quick. Brain kind of here's the thing though. I think as time goes on, people are going to come to the realization, and certain people who are going to have to take that L. And as I have said multiple times, if I am wrong, I will take the L. I have no problem. I kind of want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I want to go, I was wrong, you guys. Help me with your Rotten Tomatoes and let's go watch some cool fucking shit. That's what I want. But I don't think I'm wrong. But I'm willing to accept it if I am.
I think there's a fine line of like that. There's some parts that we can be wrong on, but I don't think we're 100% wrong.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And so I was sent a few bucks earlier to check out the Mr. Ballin injured the like button compilation. We're not going to watch 22 fucking minutes.
Let's watch the whole thing.
Right? No. Have you guys ever watched Mr. Ballin video?
I have no clue what the fuck this is.
He's a true crime. He's a true crime storyteller, right? I think storyteller is like the best way to describe the guy. And I honestly like the way that he, I like the way that he approaches stuff, you know? And, but yeah, he does this thing with the like button here. Hold on. I think, I missed this one. Sorry, Schwartz. Did you see they updated the Iron Fist logo to match Shang-Chi for Disney Plus? I didn't. Can you send that to me on Twitter? I can take a look at that because I didn't see that yet. But thank you, buddy. Thank you. But yeah, no, that's kind of weird. I will say this though. I am hoping that Iron Fist finds new love on Disney Plus and we get more Finn Jones. That's my take. But anyway, he does this thing with the like button, and so we'll take a look at like maybe minute, 2 minutes of this thing because I'm not doing 3 minutes, but we'll see how it is. How you guys like it? Isn't that the Stranger Things theme song?
If you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious, delivered in story format with lots of distracting hand gestures, then you have come to the right place, because that is all I do, and I upload 3 to 4 times a week. So if that's something you'd be into, I would ask you to please gently disembowel the like button. And so if you could gently liquidate...
If you could gently liquidate.
If you could gently liquidate the like button.
If you could gently liquidate the like button. Before we get started, if you could please gently destroy the like button. Please gently ransack the like button and gently pulverize the like button. Please gently assassinate the like button. Gently lambast the like button. Gently 360 no scope the like button. Gently eviscerate the like button. Gently obliterate the like button. Gently pulverize the like button. Please gently ravage the like button. Gently extirpate the like button. Keep it together. Here we go.
This is
please gently
So
do
this
something
guy-
to the like button.
Yeah, so this is what he does. Like here's the thing with Mr. Ballen. This dude has got like a fan base, right? Like I actually subscribe to his subreddit, and like if anyone criticizes him in the subreddit, they get fucking hit hard. Like someone will go, well, hold on, he like embellished this part of the story, and like that's not what really happened. And then people come back with, he's a storyteller. Like,
How dare you criticize the
How
storytelling?
dare you? How fucking dare you say anything? Yeah, I know.
This is crazy.
This is what it is. This is literally all he does.
Theater.
Yeah,
and we
stop
should watch
this.
the trailer. Yeah, watch that trailer. It's beautiful. I think even you would like it.
I've heard of it. I think Taylor, my friend Taylor, went and saw this movie. Is this gonna get my channel fucking like hit? Because I got to be careful.
I don't
this
think
kind
so.
of
It's a
stuff.
trailer for one.
Trailer. I don't know. I get trailer checked every once in a while.
It looks so pretty, and I wanted to share it with everybody.
All
We don't
right,
do
so
a lot
this
of
is
anime stuff.
I guess this is a take on
Look at that
fucking.
thumbnail to the right, though. What?
Look at this. Look
No,
at this.
no, it's not bad. I promise you.
Look at this
What?
thumbnail. She's got that anime face of, oh
Baby.
my god, my butt.
Say,
It's beautiful.
what is
It's
this?
beautiful, and the music seems pretty good too. So play it.
All right, let's see
Oh
here.
my gosh.
Shut up, bitch.
Kino check.
Guide me through the storm. Don't you think your mom would want you to be happy?
Suzu, come be in the picture with us.
Happy? But how?
Welcome to the world of you. You may not be able to start over in the real world, but you can start over in the world of you.
With its unique body sharing technology, you was able to draw out a user's hidden strength.
I can finally sing again.
She made it on U's global music charts, just as I expected. I'm so dead! Nobody in their right mind would ever guess that Belle's user is actually a mousy nobody like you.
I guess it's true that everyone's hiding some kind of secret.
Susie, something wrong?
Why are you still here?
Wait! Who is that?
A dragon?
This is typical internet behavior.
Why does he do stuff that'll make people hate him?
Preserve the peace in you. This creature must be disposed of.
Who are you really? He's in danger.
What? Wait!
I have to help him.
Oh, girls, you sing and go.
But I don't know what to do.
How are we supposed to find one person out of 5 billion accounts?
Actually, there's something I've been meaning to ask you for quite a long time now.
When the truth is revealed, what do you want to bet? No one will pay any attention to a single one of your songs.
I want to hear Belle sing! Yeah, sing!
Suzu. Sing.
It's Is this basically Ready Player One plus Beauty and the Beast?
That's kind of what it looks like. Yeah.
Right away. That's like the vibe.
I feel like if there's an anime that might get his interest, it'd be something that's like visually stunning with a good story.
What is this, dude?
I love that there. It's all like, do you know how bad people are on the internet? I'm like, oh, it's one of those movies.
We have to save him.
Oh, come on.
That fucking broke me,
beautiful.
dude.
No,
I
H-Mark,
knew it was
shut
gonna
your
happen,
ass
bro.
up.
I knew it was gonna happen. It's like, they have an evil guy, but dude, I see the good in him. We need to save him. I knew that shit was gonna come around.
That's how it always goes,
Wiggum
right? It's
said that
always
from
that.
experience because he lost the girl to a bad boy. I can
some
change him.
handsome guy.
I can totally change him, you guys. He's completely
We like that
awesome.
Raylo shit.
Oh, it's a cute movie. I thought it'd be nice because we don't do a lot of anime movies. It's always the superhero stuff and like the
Yeah, because
action.
I don't watch anime. Like
But
I have a
you know,
soul.
You should watch that. It looks good. You would probably.
It
like
looks cute. Is it
I need
streaming
to save
anywhere?
him.
I can save him, you guys.
Yeah, well,
You know
nobody
what?
could save you. Look at that.
You know
face.
what? I'll tell you
Oh,
this
shit,
though,
I need
right? I'll
some-
tell you this. When I
moisturizer.
dated the stripper back in 04, like when I found out
Wait,
that like
what?
she was I
Back
did. It was
up, back
yeah,
up.
I dated a stripper like in 04, right?
Okay.
Come on. I get around. Dude. Don't let my pudgy
Dog moves,
demeanor
Bravo.
fool you. Like I got a vicious tongue.
Oh my god.
That's earlier. You guys missed it. I drank one of those Starlight Coca-Colas, and
I heard it tastes like Oreos.
somebody had asked the question,
Tastes like
like, does it
space.
taste like pussy? And I was like, nope. But
What
could
the, who the first of all, like what kind of pussy do people eat? Well, that's the first thing they go with. Does Coke taste like pussy? I don't know
Well.
how many pussies did you eat that tastes like a fucking soda.
I mean, to be fair, there is like there is kind of like an acidic content to it, right? I mean, a lot of bacterial movements and
I'm just saying,
vaginal region.
have you tasted carbonated pussy? Because that doesn't sound very appetizing.
You ever eat carbonated pussy? Coming
Hashtag
this fall
carbonated-
from Coca-Cola, only in Russia. Carbonated pussy. Have you ever wanted to dine on a flesh clam but never found yourself in a position to do so? Does Tinder seem too complicated and you have a micro penis? Then get carbonated pussy.
Somebody please clip that and turn that into a commercial. Please do it. Please.
There, hold on.
I'll give you $10 cash. You can grab it off my ass with your teeth if you make that an actual commercial.
Why? Well, you don't have an ass. We've seen.
First of all, I do. No, you haven't.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Anyway, Jess here says, Matt, you need to watch anime. Forget the past. I don't know. I mean, like, let's see. Spherical Man here says that trailer almost made me leave to finish Fast 9.
Spherical Man, you guys are so like open your minds, okay, and your imagination. Okay, just open
Yeah,
it.
guys, we
Gotta
need
get
to
that
all
Listen, if
carbonated
you
pussy.
motherfuckers have me
Kawaii,
Google
guys,
gummy worms
kawaii.
up a woman's kuka, okay?
What?
And I see that shit, y'all can watch some fucking anime. Some
Well, I
wholesome
mean,
anime. All right.
You know what? What type of what? Say
Yeah,
are
you
you
weren't here for
talking
that.
about, Saggy?
No, somebody. It was rational. He asked me to Google something, and I immediately regret every time he asked me to Google.
She looked up. Yeah, you can find it on the replay last night. Her gagging, not for the right reasons.
Oh my god.
Dude,
Why?
that was so gross. Dude, that was so gross. I was not expecting all those pictures. I already seen Blue Waffle, so I knew
Oh,
that wasn't going to
stop.
gross me
Oh,
out. But it
God.
was the
Oh,
other
stop.
pictures that were in that same friggin' search that did it for me. I couldn't.
Oh, wait, hold the grass here. Says I usually have to wear a bib when I fine dine downstairs.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Jesus,
Shoot, dude.
So when am I coming
Like-
over for dinner?
You're like, I want to leave dehydrated.
I got water. Drink some water. Jesus Christ!
No, we call it nervous drinking. We call it nervous drinking.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. There's
Anyway.
some nervous drinking right there. I heard it.
The watcher here says, watch. I'm assuming that's My Hero Academia is the MHA, right?
I mean,
It will
if you watch
change you.
superhero- yeah, if you watch superhero
I
movies, you
like,
My
yeah,
Hero Academia.
I gotta watch.
It's just long, and you don't have time for a long anime. He doesn't have time for long animes, guys.
I don't have time for
recommend-
much these days, but that's
Yeah.
why. Yeah.
Don't recommend him My Hero.
Tomorrow is a long day of watching not only Turning Red to watching the Atom Project as well. So there's stuff there.
You still haven't seen Cobra Kai or friggin' Rocky, so.
Oh no, I haven't seen. Oh wait, Rocky. Yeah, well, I mean, overrated, but whatevs.
You are a friggin' now I see why people hate your ass.
People hate me because I'm right.
No, people hate you because you didn't watch Rocky.
People hate me because they know that deep down I have good takes.
Deep down, they
Bitch
know.
didn't even watch Creed. Like, what
This
the
man hasn't what?
I haven't seen Rocky. I haven't seen any of the Creed. Why?
Told me this shit.
Why?
I can't believe you let me go. I just started knowing you, Jarbo, and then now I learned this shit.
What?
Say
Okay.
Just bomb on me. All right, I'm kidding.
Like, go watch Rocky.
I'm disappointed. You're an embarrassment.
No, you're all an embarrassment. I'm fine.
No, you're an embarrassment to call yourself $3 theater and you haven't seen Rocky. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, darn. Oh, sorry. I've never seen boxing propaganda before. Like, do you know how bad boxing is? Like CTE, man, like it kills you.
You saw the Karate Kid and you didn't see Rocky?
I saw the Karate Kid as a child, and that's child exploitation.
God,
I mean, look at the movie where Daniel-san goes to Japan. It is culturally insensitive, and then they beat up the tourists. That movie tanked all American Japanese tourism because of the fear that came out of that bag. You don't know this. This is a true story. Really, it caused so much panic that they had to stop showing the Karate Kid in Japan because people weren't going there. Because Daniel-san, national treasure here in the States, absolutely.
Daniel-san. I just learned that.
I just want to say, this man talk about, I saw Karate Kid when I was a child, but I couldn't see Rocky because boxing was not as cool as karate.
Boxing is not as cool as karate. Have you ever seen Three Ninjas?
It wasn't about the boxing though.
Have you ever seen Three Ninjas?
Three Ninjas was a classic. Are you kidding me?
Three Ninjas is an amazing movie. That movie is better than Rocky. I'm saying it right now.
I'm not.
Have you guys, Kaden and Jimbo, have you guys ever seen Three Ninjas?
As I look it up, no.
It's from the director of National Treasure 1 and 2.
You haven't seen Three Ninjas. Y'all get out. All of you except for me leave. Y'all see.
No, dude, I saw Three Ninjas at a fucking sneak preview.
I've seen all of the Three Ninjas. Those movies were a fucking amazing. They were so cheesy that they were so good. I love Three Ninjas, bro.
Three Ninjas is pretty legit. Yeah, that is true. Here, we'll end it with.
Have you watched Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit? Have you seen
I have. Yeah.
You've seen cinema, okay?
No.
You've seen cinema.
Have you seen that movie? Have you seen that movie?
Saggy, have you?
No, I'm not talking to either of you. No, don't kid me. You haven't seen Three Ninjas?
Oh my god, you haven't seen cinema. But have you seen Wallace and Gromit, bro?
I'm not talking to you. You guys haven't seen Three Ninjas. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
No.
Don't
hold on.
Those are the homies right there.
Here. It's only a minute long. All right. This is a teaser trailer, or an action trailer for Three Ninjas.
We want you to snatch a few kids for us. 3 very specific little boys.
You just get those kids tonight.
Before midnight! Do you understand?
They're carrying guns. If we can take these 3 robbers ourselves, then maybe Dad will see that our ninja training's worth it. Yes!
They're probably pretty nice kids.
Let's moralize it.
They're for attack. And this is gonna win. Never use power on anyone weaker than yourself.
We're all gonna go for a little ride.
Sam, come here. Snyder took the boys.
God, I'd love being a bad guy.
That's a fan trailer, but that's legit badass. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That was legit badass. That made that.
What the fuck was that?
Yo.
First of all, just so you know,
that
was Three Ninjas is basically like a comedy in a sense, but it's such a fucking fun movie. But you guys
that whole scene, I was like, is this a horror movie now?
No, that's a weird trailer, man. That's a great trailer though. So the idea there, So you have like, I think it's like the three kids. There's Rocky, and then there's like the middle one, and then there's Tum Tum. Tum Tum's the baby, and like the grandfather is
Rocky. It's Rocky, Cole, and Tum Tum.
Yeah, Rocky, Colt, Tum Tum. That's right. And so their grandfather is a ninja, and they go spend the summers with their grandfather, and he's teaching them to be a ninja, but their dad doesn't approve. But their dad gets caught up with like some bad business guys, and they basically think like the Foot Clan from fucking Turtles, right? And so they need to kidnap the kids to kind of like influence the dad. But then like the guys who kidnap them, like, you know, the kids are ninjas, and so they end up like fighting their way through like all of these like Foot Clan style dudes. It's
right. And their grandfather comes to save them because they were kicking the guy's butt, and then they sent like the big guy over there, and that's when the big guy grabbed them and captured them. And the grandfather finds out, so he goes and saves the kids. They actually had like, what is it? Didn't they have like 3 movies?
Yeah, they did. They did Three Ninjas Kick Back, which was the one where they go to Japan to do a tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
And then then there was like Three Ninjas, like something.
So
it was like
ninjas. I'm just looking up. 3 ninjas knuckle up. 3 ninjas kick back. 3 ninjas high noon at Mega Mountain.
Oh, okay, so Knuckle Up was the second one. Then there's Kick Back. All right, and then but Hulk Hogan is in like, and Lonnie Anderson are in like the 4th one, which is like went straight to like home video. So
3 Ninjas was good. They did replace some of the kids, but I love the one in Japan. The 3rd one where they went to Japan, that was my favorite.
Yeah. What was the second one then? Okay, what was the second one then? What was Knuckle Up? Because
I forgot what the second one was.
I thought the second one they went to Japan.
No, I think that kid's right. It was the 3rd one because
All
they
right, maybe
the
I'm wrong.
actors. The kids changed, so they replaced the actors, and it was different actors for like.
It's right. It was a different Rocky, and
that's right.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay. So you've got 3 Ninjas Knuckle Up, which takes place between 3 Ninjas and 3 Ninjas Kick Back. That's what the Wikipedia says. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so 13-year-old Rocky, 12-year-old Colt, and 9-year-old Tum Tum defend truth, justice, and the American way once more. This time, it's protecting a Native American village from the.
Oh yeah, I remember that because I think the
Truth,
oldest one had a
justice, and
thing.
American
The
way.
oldest one always has a thing for like one of the girls. So yeah, that was the Indian girl.
Yeah,
and the Japanese girl was the 3rd one. And I don't really remember the 4th one. I think after that, I think I might have. I think I did see it because I do remember Hulk Hogan, but I think that was the worst one. 3 was my favorite.
Well, okay, hold on there. I feel like Knuckle Up was the 3rd film, and the second one, yeah. Okay, so look, I think what it was is they shot, I think they shot the Knuckle Up, but they didn't release it right away. It released early in South Korea first, and then it wasn't until 2 years later it released here in the States. So 3 Ninjas Kick Back was actually released in 94 so it was like 93, 94, 95, but they shot. So technically Kick Back is the 3rd movie, but it's the 2nd in the domestic release where they go to Japan.
I gotta go back and watch the 3.
Yeah. Okay, so according to the wiki, it says here, 3 Ninjas Kick Back is a 1994 American film directed by Charles T. whatever. It's a sequel to the film 3 Ninjas. Despite being released as the 2nd installment of the franchise, Kick Back is chronologically the 3rd installment of the 3 Ninja series. Originally the other sequel, 3 Ninjas Knuckle Up, was shot back to back with the first film and with the original cast, but due to a distribution issue, it was released in 95. So, and it's the only film in the series to get a video game adaptation.
Yeah.
That is nuts. That's I need to watch those movies again, man. Those,
3 Ninjas at the Theme Park. I agree, Music Man. That one was the worst out of the series.
Oh, that's fucking god awful. That's absolutely awful. Here's one. Well, I will end it with this because I do got to go. But we're talking about ninjas, and I loved the exploitation of the ninja whole trope back in the 80s. There's a franchise starring Michael Dudikoff, who I have no idea where Michael Dudikoff is these days, but he started a franchise called American Ninja. And it's about as crazy and about as bad as you might think. Check out the trailer for this thing. Okay, play, goddammit.
Awkward silence.
I know, it's like fucking 70s, 80s films.com. Canon Pictures. We use this to film.
I think I've
For
seen this.
2,000 years.
I've seen all 4
the
of them.
sacred art of the ninja has been guarded in the East.
Remember the day I found you.
Now, it has come to the West.
Remember what is hidden deep in your mind.
He is the only soldier,
Date of birth unknown.
the only American
Who is he?
who is capable of defeating the secret Black Star Army. The mission to hijack a U.S. military arsenal.
Your destiny, my son, awaits you.
The adventure. The confrontation. The code.
I will honor the code, Father.
The invasion. The final hour. The deadliest art of the Orient is now in the hands of an American.
Oh no, no.
American ninja.
What is that? Why did he have to stand in front of the American flag at the end? Why?
The deadliest art to the Orient.
Dude, it's called.
That was
It's
terrible.
literally called American Ninja, man.
By the way, fun fact about ninjas: did you know that ninjas didn't actually, like, real ninjas didn't wear black? They actually wore dark blue because black actually reflected off the moonlight. So they wore dark blue because it wasn't as reflective. Ha! Fun fact about real life ninjas, y'all.
Hold on here. Shiny for $5.69. Do not Google eels and worms up the butt.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I already did it. No, absolutely not. No, thank you. Absolutely not. We're not doing this again. Stop
Yeah.
it.
RJ, I didn't know you were a connoisseur of fine taste. All right, man.
God.
American
By the way, the
Ninja's
best
fucking
ninja-
awesome.
No, the best ninja movie ever in existence is Beverly Hills Ninja. Bite me.
No.
That's a fun one. I like that one.
I love
Everybody
that
was
But have
kung
you seen
fu
Wallace and
fighting.
Chris Farley, dude, that movie was amazing.
Yeah. Music Man, you're
Robin
asking if I've ever
Rose?
seen Best of the Best. I have seen Best of the Best. I've seen the first couple.
You've seen Best of the Breast?
Probably something similar to that.
Yeah, just ask
No,
RJ
he
to take
dated
his shirt
a-
off. You'll see him.
no, he dated a stripper. I
bitch,
mean,
get at
come
me.
on.
He's
I've
fine.
seen Best of the Not all. Look, I will say this: not all strippers are like sex crazed monsters. This one was on meth though. It was a fun summer.
All right. Good night, everybody. Y'all have a great night. Thanks
All right,
for
hold
having
on.
me.
React to the worst and longest death. I don't know what the fuck that is, dude, but I'll do that later. I don't know what that is. I don't know.
I'm still getting over the fact that she
Thank
was
you
on
for having me, everybody.
I
You guys-
didn't know at first she was on methamphetamines. I had no idea that she was on methamphetamines.
Did you look at the face? I mean,
No, look. Here's the thing, man. People who do meth, they look like everybody else. They can, if you can cover it up, man. Not, I guarantee you, like 5 people on meth. They just don't tell you.
Oh,
Right.
man.
Thanks for
I
watching.
actually do know. I know a couple.
Everybody stay cool, stay calm, collected, and don't date meth heads.
Well, yeah, I learned that lesson a long time ago. There's
How much
also
money
more to
did she
that.
steal from you?
She didn't steal any money from me, just time and emotions.
Okay.
It's a long story. It's a long story. Spherical Minute says, Jarbo, you watch the Rocky series and I'll watch these horrible movies. Deal? No, because I would gladly rewatch American Ninja movies, man. I love
That's not the
ninja.
point.
I love ninja movies, dude.
Watch Rocky.
You can't cover up meth. You really can. You really can. The key is to look out for somebody who's constantly brushing their teeth. That's how you know. That's a huge tell.
So Matt confirmed likes meth heads.
I mean,
Sounds legit.
they're
Sounds legit.
they're very
Where did you
energetic in
find your
certain
girlfriend?
areas.
Oh my god, bro. Okay. Thanks for having me, y'all. This was a great stream that I came in like towards the end and just prolonged it. And now we hear about Matt's previous dating life.
No,
where he
this is interesting.
fucked a meth
This could be
head.
a whole episode of Boulder
I
Talk.
mean, hey,
talking
if
about-
she doesn't have teeth, at least the head game is all gums and you're good. She was there fighting it.
Hold on. Matt saying 3 Ninjas is better than Rocky. I never said it was better than Rocky. I just said I like it. There's a difference there. I can tell you that probably The Godfather is a much better made movie than literally like probably almost anything else in the 1970s. That doesn't mean that Blazing Saddles to me isn't a better movie.
I'm still hung up with a meth fucking head girlfriend.
This was San Diego in 2004, baby.
Bro, I don't care if it was fucking the 70s, bro. Like dating a meth addict. Oh my god.
It didn't end well. Okay, it didn't end well, and she hit it really good.
Did she fucking like sell your kidney? Did you wake up in a
Nah. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Cyberpunk intro, dude.
God, bro,
What's up with like half a
did you
roll
need
up body?
Like, did you have premium medical services, or did you know?
God, how could
No.
you not? Oh my god, how did you not smell like burnt plastic?
Because some people are high functioning meth heads. That's kind of the whole point.
True.
There are people out there who are high functioning coke heads. You're never going to know that they do a lot of cocaine. You know what I mean? Like you can do high functioning stuff. And given where I was at in my life at the time, there was a lot, because I have personal things happening, that I just overlooked. So, you know, and it was a lot of behavioral things that I simply overlooked, which I don't really talk about much.
Let it all to the meth lady.
Well, you know what I mean. Let's see. Resident Justice here says, why don't you support meth addicts and get them help instead of judging them? Saggy.
Coming from the Saint RJ.
Right, like this is coming from somebody who's clearly never dealt with drug addicts in his life. That is the most ignorant comment I've ever heard.
I could give you a story, bro.
RJ, you literally
a current story right now.
Nah, you know.
Jimbo's like, yo, let me tell you about this girl I go to school with.
Right, you
She
know.
doesn't actually go to school there, but she digs in the trash, and I kind of like it.
Oh my god!
It smells perfect type of rancid.
Smoke cigarettes. He doesn't fucking drink. He don't know shit about drug addicts.
I'm telling you right now, and then we can end it. But I'm telling you right now, if given the opportunity, he would 100% go into the nappy dugout. You know what I mean? Like,
RJ, now
RJ's first sexual experience would be to human centipede a woman. Like, I guarantee you.
Oh no!
He would just be all like, "Well, you know what?
No,
when am I going to be here again?"
Way to make people feel bad, RJ.
No, stop.
My mom was a drug addict.
No,
no,
okay. Joke, by the way, Steve.
Oh.
All right, let's drop it. RJ.
All right. On that note, everybody, thank you very much for tuning on in. I won't be live. If I won't be on here tomorrow night, it's possible I'll be on a Boulder Talk Radio, or maybe I'll do both. I'm not going to be going out driving for the weekend. I might. I'll see who I can. I might try to find an interesting person to like interview on Boulder Talk. I don't know. I might reach out to some crazies.
Krypton. I think that would be a fun
Oh
one.
yeah. Get him on there. So tell me about when the booze took over your life.
Well, when the Snyder Cut came out and the Snyderverse kind of went dead and nothing got restored right away, I kind of hit me hard.
I just really wonder, like, when like these guys realize that the Snyderverse is over, like, so like will their ability to get an erection?
The Snyderverse is at Netflix now, so
we'll have a therapy session.
Yeah,
okay,
that's right. I love that. I love how they overlook that too. And I'm like, it's at Netflix now.
And
All
Zach
right,
even said himself,
What?
like,
What's
no,
Rebel
no,
Moon?
no. This is
What's Rebel Moon? Planet of the Dead, animated Planet of the Dead. What?
It's all crazy shit.
Jimbo? Like,
I don't know. All right, guys. Thank you very much, everybody. Have yourself a grand night. Don't do drugs unless it helps get